What is up, RotoGrinders? 2+ hours nonstop MLB DFS conversation starts right now. Typically Tuesday is the People's Show. It is not the People's Show today, or maybe it will be. Kirkwood, you guys know Kirkwood, returning champion from yesterday, leader of the Juggalos, Kid Yahoo. You asked myself and Chop, like, is this the new, possibly the new iteration of the People's Show? Are they going to be dethroned? We shall see. I suppose maybe it depends how this show plays out. But at least for today, Kirkwood, this Tuesday, it is the People's Show. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, Dean. Pleasure to be here.
Don't sound too enthused. Chop is the challenger, I guess, today. Returning champion is Kirkwood. Chop is challenging. Chop, you got late swapped in, I believe, throughout the day at some point. I don't think it was last night, but do appreciate you jumping in. Chop, how are things in your world? Everything all good, more or less?
Yeah, they're all right, Dean. Yeah, it was a late add to the afternoon schedule, and I don't know what is Kirky defending? You're gonna have to fill me in on this Tuesday show. Which kind of shenanigans are going on here?
Well, typically myself, Tim, and Bobby Gums, we call ourselves the People's Show. The people like that show. We are for the people. You haven't heard about this? It's
self-coined.
The people said they like it, or you said the people?
People did. Yeah.
Bobby came out and said it's the People's Show. He said this is the People's Show.
It's across the nation. It's catching fire. Everybody's calling it the People's Show. Myself, Bobby, and Tim typically. We tend to do a show on Tuesday, but it's just not in the cards for today. But thanks for supporting the shows on Tuesday, Chopper. Do appreciate you tuning in, hitting that like button and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. But maybe you could be I don't know. Maybe the chat can tell us. Have this for the chat. Chat, what's up, chat? Hit that like button and subscribe and turn on those notifications. We appreciate all that. What should this show be called? Myself, Kirkwood, and Chop. Once it was called the On Probation Show. I think that was once. I'm not sure if we're still on probation or you guys are still on probation. I don't think it ever was real. We're just kind of having fun with it. But maybe the chat will.
I think it was real. Do you think it was real, Chop?
100%. We were not allowed or scheduled to do shows together.
Because we were like a constant.
So,
we were like a constant, and then all of a sudden it was none.
Well, the actions have consequences, I suppose. By the way, speaking of actions, not a consequence, but a perk. Today is Tuesday. You guys know what Tuesday is. It's Tournament Tuesday. What does that mean? What does Tournament Tuesday mean? You can get yourself a week free of RG Premium if you just take down our free contest. Producer Devin has it posted in the Discord channel. RotoGrinders.com/Discord. Jump into the live stream chat channel. Producer Devin has already posted for the people. We like to have a little bit of gimmicks every once in a while when it comes to these contests. Sometimes we play low ball. Sometimes we just play it straight. Just fill it a lineup and take it down. Today's gimmick is you have to roster at least one player. Just roster one player from today's lineup on DK that has two first names. Two first names in the lineup. So as an example, I was kind of running them down. Devin, myself, producer Steve, as a team, we'll confirm and make sure whoever takes it down does have one player with two first names. But I had it. I was making a list of some potential guys: Carson Kelly, Pete Alonso, Royce Lewis, Garrett Mitchell, Luis Robert, Jackson Merrill, Brenton Doyle,
John Carlos Stanton,
Luis Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Ortiz is a first name?
Yeah, Ortiz. I got
Jesse Winker.
I got a couple of buddies named Ortiz.
You got a friend named Winker? Like a real... I understand.
You don't?
Common nicknames. Common.
Very common.
Okay, producer Steve is saying, I'm not sure about Steve or Devin. I think it's Steve. Doyle is not a first name. Doyle Brunson, sir? Have you heard of Doyle Brunson? Dude's got a hand named after him, the 10 Deuce.
What about... I need a ruling on this. What about Zebby Matthews? Does the S take Matthews away?
Yeah, I mean, you're taking some liberties there.
What about Garrett Mitchell? What about Garrett Mitchell?
First name.
What about Garrett Mitchell?
I ran off Garrett Mitchell.
Josh Jung? You guys know some.
Show me.
Taylor
Jung
Ward.
Is a very popular
Taylor Ward.
Taylor Ward works. Taylor Ward, yes. Josh Young, no.
Oh god.
Josh Young is a very popular name.
Yeah. Call
China.
somebody in your phone named Young right now.
It is.
Andrew
China.
Vaughn.
Different spelling. Andrew Vaughn's a good one. That's a good one, Chop. There you go. Kyle Isbell, we can throw it out in chat. Joe Adele, different spelling. We're gonna round up, I assume. Like we don't want to really penalize people. Corey Lee. Corey Lee getting thrown out from Izzy.
Carlos Santana.
Royce Lewis. Come on.
I said Royce Lewis. I threw that one out there.
You
There's
did.
a lot on the slate, but yes. Is Kyle?
He's not. Is he out of the lineup?
Jose Miranda. There you go, Dean. Perfect.
How is that perfect? How was Jose Miranda?
Chop. Nice one.
Theoretically, anything can be a first name, obviously.
Jose is a first name, and Miranda is a female name. What are you talking about? How is that not perfect? It's perfect.
Is there a celebrity named Miranda?
What? Have you never heard the name Miranda?
Miranda Maverick?
I don't know.
Miranda Lambert?
I know Miranda Wrights, so it probably came from a person named Miranda. I don't know.
Oh,
Miranda Cosgrove. Who was that?
Austin Martin?
Austin Martin's a good one. There you go. You probably don't want to play him, but who's Miranda
Luis
Cosgrove?
Robert? Luis
like
Robert?
Did
you say that one? Did you say Luis Robert?
Yes, I did. Miranda Lambert. I've heard of her. Okay, so yeah, my bad. Miranda, it qualifies. I stand corrected, Chop. But Austin Riley, that's another one. Mr. Gerg thrown out there. It's very easy to do. You might even do it accidentally, but just make sure. Elio Ramos, yeah, that works. That's a good one. Cam is saying she played Megan and iCarly.
I got a great
Not
one.
watch iCarly, but I'll take your word for it.
Joey Bart,
or Drake and Josh. Joey Bart, yeah. I ran
in honor of the person that I timed out for 300 seconds just a few minutes ago.
Lennon Sosa.
Judges?
Sosa?
Yeah, good one, Chop. I like that.
Good one. You're like the guy in Family Feud, no matter what your cousin says. Yeah, good answer. X. Connor Joe from Matt. There you go. Salvador Perez first name? Perez? Alejandro Kirk. We'll take that one, Andrew. Henry Davis killed my best ball teams. I know people care about
Corbin
that.
Corbin Carroll.
Little different spelling, but I think we'll take it.
Oh, now it's spellings.
I mean, spelling matters.
You're moving the goalpost, Dean. You're moving the goalpost, brother.
Yeah, Willie Adamas. Like, I don't know. Perez Hilton is a person.
Jordan Beck.
Lord is throwing out Perez Hilton, which is that's a good retort to the Salvador Perez argument. Beck, of course, the singer. Beck. Yeah. All right, so there's a lot. There's a lot to get in there. Spots are limited. 1 week free of RG Premium. If you take it down, just make sure you have one person that has 2 first names in your lineup. I believe if you're rocking the RG badge, you actually get two for 2 weeks, two individual weeks. Sean Murphy, I think that qualifies as well for Mr. Gerg. There you go. There's more than I anticipated. Kyle Harrison, that definitely works as well. Then you have to roster Kyle Harrison, which might not be terrible because that's kind of the nature of this slate. We'll talk about it as far as the overview. No Jazz. I'm sure you're seeing that right now. Yes, I ran that one off as well. Okay. No Jazz. We were talking about that pre-show.
Kevin Newman.
Oh, we can just do this for the next hour.
Well, we got to give a big player pool here. We got to get the player pool.
I know. I'm enjoying this. I'm not saying
I got one, Dean. I got one
for
you. And this is going to be the one that could win it all for everybody, because you can get this guy on your roster now. Shohei Ohtani.
Of course.
Tony, get over
here. Hey, Tony.
Come on, Dean.
I mean, I feel like the judges are going to be pretty liberal with the interpretation, but I don't know. We have to see what Devin says there. I don't have the final word. I'm pretty sure it's Devin or producer Steve, maybe a collection of the 3 of us. But
Michael Taylor.
Yeah, that works. There's a lot. Patrick Bailey. There's Charlie Morton.
Lamont Wade. Wade Boggs. Lamont Wade. I mean, you can't do that.
It's almost like hard not to accidentally. The chat's really trying to make Aaron Judge work.
Chuck, didn't you know it's Soler? Did you know it's Soler?
Yep.
Okay, Jorge Soler.
Yep. Aaron
Okay.
Judge. I mean, Judge Reinhold, Dean. Hey, you haven't heard of Judge Reinhold? Speaking of which, 42nd anniversary of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Is it really?
And you're not trying to get you're not trying to let Aaron Judge slide? Come on, man.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Judge Dredd being pointed out in chat by Dalton, Judge Judy, Judge Joe, Judge Wapner. There's a lot of judges. So yeah, I suppose. Look, it's not hard. That's just the way to make it happen. Get yourself a week for each of RG Premium. If you don't want to play any games, you want the only shenanigans, no fun, you can just go ahead and pay for it. It's a good time. Never a better time to get RG Premium. Why is that? Well, you would get the entirety of the NFL season, right? If you commit to 6 months. If you commit to 6 months, you get $250 right off the top. Save yourself $250 as opposed to going month by month by month by month. I think my math is right? The NFL season wouldn't it be over in 6 months? It starts in 3 weeks, 3-ish, give or take. Yeah. I think it'll be over. Yeah, maybe you'll miss the Super Bowl. Probably not, though.
Oh, my God. Fernando Rodney.
Well, I don't think he's in the player pool. If you want to roster,
he's back. Like I told you, he plays DFS daily. He's back again. Salute to him.
Well, yeah. Well, shout out to Fernando Rodney. Shoot the arrow. Judge isn't a first name. Yes, I do understand that Judge Judy is not actually named Judge, last name Judy. I do. Yes, I am.
What about, is there any Kings?
King? Like as a first name?
I mean, King is a first name. I'm wondering if it's any player. Do we have any Kings?
Sure.
Michael King.
King Hippo? Back in the day?
King.
It's King. It's Bobby Green is now just King.
Yep, King Green. King, the Wire. King from The Wire. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's a good precursor to later on in the show. We just discussing that. Kirkwood, for the first time ever, well, he broke the rules. I understand why, but the rules were broken as far as tiers. He's non-committal. He can't take a stand.
No, I have a great explanation for it. I'm pushing the envelope.
Lord King Guru says Lord King Guru. King Kong Bundy, of course. And King James. How do we forget the greatest basketball player of all time? Yeah, there's a lot of kings that are legit.
Gavin Stone.
Stone Phillips. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Stone's a first name, I guess. Sure. Why not?
I might try to do this in a regular contest.
Yeah, anything can be a first name, technically.
What are the odds I had to make a lineup like this and it cashes? What can we get for a price on this?
I mean, there are goofier ways to make lineups. So, if you're doing this, make sure you're throwing it in a tournament as well, just in case. Like we do that with low ball. Every once in a while, your low ball lineup goes nuts. All right. You know what it is that, by the way, I didn't mention 1 month. I was in the middle of the promo and I got distracted. My apologies. Commit to 6 months, get $250 off. Commit to just 1 month, you get $40 off. You just want to taste. You want to get 3 days. That's $19 and change. Go ahead and check out the links in the description. I didn't want to talk about the pitching on this slate because it's gross. It's pretty terrible. Did not enjoy researching this slate. I was writing for the survey, did some rankings as well. Maybe you guys can help me out. Chop, how do you feel about the slate on the whole? It feels like, hitting is better than pitching. We did mention Mike Jazz out of that New York lineup. He got dinged yesterday. I assume Ketel Marte is not going to play. Duran's still not going to play. Second half is a suspension. But, Chopper, what do you have as far as the overview? How do you feel about 52% Michael King on DK, just because he's clearly the best? He's the best pitcher, as far as K rate, not even close, like 5 percentage points. And it's not like it's super, super elite. It's like 28% change, but next guy was 23%. Yeah. So what do you got for a Chop?
I mean, Dean, this is the way it happens in DFS. This is the beauty of it sometimes is every slate's unique, and sometimes we can come here and there's just like 5 aces and it feels one way and you're trying to do something with your lineup, and then you come like today and there's like nothing you would say is like a legitimate ace, and there's a whole bunch of good offenses and that kind of thing. And so that's just the way you gotta roll with it. Everybody has to deal with the same thing. I think that pitching is really weak today. Although I've watched Michael King now. He's a really good. Didn't Michael King get traded from the Yankees to?
Yes, he was
kind of buddy. Oh, buddy.
Perfect. So he's eligible for the 2 names tonight. Jesus,
can you believe that the Yankees who are struggling with all that pitching, let Michael King go. This guy's a legit guy, man. He's legit, but that's another story. Yeah, the pitching is rather weak in general tonight. And Dean, it's his preface, a little spoiler alert for you here. But on my rankings, I pre-show I do all my rankings ahead of time. It is perfectly symmetrical today, Dean. I've got the same number of teams in tier 1 as I do in tier 5, the same number of teams in tier 2 as I do in tier 4, and then tier 3 right in the middle is on its own level. Like everything, that's how good the offenses are today. It's weird like that. That's never happened before, but should be interesting when we get to that. But yeah, it's just what it is, man. If you're asking a strategy for me, like right now, it's probably going to be Michael King and then punt SP2 and load up on some offense.
I wrote in the expert survey today, the police lineup from the usual suspects looks more trustworthy than the pitching options we have tonight. Just don't feel great about it at all. Michael King is going to be crazy chalk, but I'm kind of sort of leaning in, just like you're saying the same thing, Chop. On a different slate, he wouldn't be as appealing, but it's kind of like where we're at. And Pittsburgh's not been good. They strike out a lot. They're not very patient. So the ballpark's pretty good to pitch in there in San Diego. And he's the one guy that, like, if he scuffles, gives up 2 or 3 runs in the first inning, he can actually recover and still strike out 7 or 8. I believe his pitching prop, as far as his Ks, 2 Ks higher than everybody else than the field. You don't really see that too often as far as pitching props. Last I saw, I think it was 7.5, and everybody else, the next highest number was 5.5. Kirkwood, your thoughts as far as overview on this slate, and then we'll dig into pitching. And yeah, Michael King is 52% owned because you got to roster 2 on DK, and I'll give you the FanDuel number in a second as well.
I just wanted to pat myself on the back for getting second in the 400 last night with a 4-man Yankees stack. Pretty hard to do on that game.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Jazz was one of them, as I said, and he should have had more, but he got hurt, and also that Volpe hit the single when he was stealing third. He would have still third. But anyways, so I'm completely fine with Michael King. He's earned the right to be chalk on this slate, right? Like, he's reliable. He's had a great season. He's got a K rate that's about 5 points higher than anyone else behind him. He's got a good matchup in a top 10, strikeout matchup in the Pirates. He just faced them. They had a poor start, but I looked into it. It was all because of his sweeper. His sweeper wasn't sweeping, and he usually gets double. And he got like 18% called strike whiffs, and he averages like 38% on that. And so I'm good with him. What do I do with SP2? And I'm not so worried about chalk on this slate for pitcher because I like the idea of taking some shots on like Zebby, but I'm totally fine. I like Blackburn. But I'm totally fine with any of the guys. Just know what you're getting into and just how you play lineups. Because I think the slate's going to be won on bats because we don't have any like clear. I mean, the Yankees, sure, the best spot overall, but they are steadily climbing the gutless rankings after last night.
Well, they got what you wanted. They had 5 or 6 walks in the first couple innings or so, and they just could not get one key hit. They just kept stranding. They just kept stranding runners. Angelo in chat says, I'm rolling with Blackburn and Kikuchi. Angelo must be playing on Yahoo.
He's playing Yahoo.
Okay. Yeah. Because I see Kikuchi's playing with
650. That's what I got. That's what I got too.
Yeah. I've not dug into that, but I like Kikuchi against Tampa. I believe we're getting a debut though of Junior Caminero. They called him up. Yeah, it looks like he's batting 5th today. I think so, right? Is this his MLB debut? I think it is. One of the more highly touted prospects in all of baseball. Blackburn revenge game too, where you're throwing out there as far as the revenge. We should mention, I suppose, Oakland did change their pitchers. It's now Joe Boyle, who's 9K on DK. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, all right, good. I did like the like that GIF, whatever. Birdman. But I was looking, I was like, okay, what do we got here for a price? I saw 9K. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, get out of here with 9K. That's absolutely ridiculous.
You know who
Crossing off
hated
the
it?
list.
My buddy, Tony. He was like, "Get that out of here! Get that out of here!"
Otoni, the guy that's named after Shohei Otoni?
No, just it's pretty common over here in the East Coast.
Eric is telling me that Cameron never played last year. Okay, I just forgot. He's still like really, really young though, but he must have came up like a cup of coffee in the season. We got the Angels just in as far as lineup: Chanel, Neto, Ohapi, Calhoun, Ward, 2 first names, Rendon, Moniak, Drury, Adele, 2 first names. I mean,
hold up here.
Do you
have some of your crypto buddies in here, NFT buddies in here?
I don't have any NFT or crypto buddies, and if I did, I wouldn't have any anymore because apparently I mentioned that people should consider playing Top Shots allegedly. No, you're asking Chop because I don't have
it. No, I was thinking it was you because it's in the chat right now.
No,
we're getting spam. We're getting spam, producer.
I'm not seeing it. What chat are you talking about?
Maybe he got it.
Or the YouTube chat? I just missed
the YouTube chat.
All right. Chop, you said a random SP2. Is it somebody just kind of you fill out your stack and like it's like one of 4 guys that's okay essentially? But
I don't know.
You're not married to an SP2 just yet.
Basically? Yeah, let's put it like that. I don't really have it could be a lot of different. I'm not very picky on the SP2 tonight. Let's put it like that. I think it could be one of a number of choices, and it depends on how much money I got left over. Let's see. There's only a few guys that I think are unplayed. Like, oh man, I only got 6,800 or less to spend on a pitcher. Well, I'm out. Then I got to change up the offense because I'm not going with Gomber, Urain, or Cannon. But other than that, 6,900 or more, I can absolutely fill in with a guy at the end that I feel good about. I feel decent about on this slate.
Yeah, I'm just kind of working my way up. Kirkwood, stop me when you're interested. Urania's 6'2", Gomber 6'5", Cannon 6'7", Ortiz 6'9". This is DK. Stone 7'3" versus Milwaukee. Harrison 7'4" versus the Braves. We got what we expected last night of that game. And then some. 21, 22 combined strikeouts for the 2 lefties, Sale and Snell, taking a scoreless game, I believe, into the 7th. Stone is 7'3", Harrison 7'4", Blackburn 7'5". That's kind of where you stop, right? Ray is 7'6". Of course, Betts is back. He banged out a homer last night. I think he swept the bag as well. The rookie Matthews looks pretty good. Mostly stretched out. He went like 5 or so last couple times. I think he's interesting just because, what else is there? On a different slate, back in the line. But today, sure, I guess so. Yeah, Kirkwood, you haven't stopped me. You're not a fan of any of these guys I'm throwing out there? I think you mentioned Blackburn before, right?
I could play Gavin Stone, but I'm not expecting much from him. It's just he throws heat, there's potential there, but we just don't see it. So he's just kind of a middling. And man, if you want a game log and make yourself puke, just check out his game log. Is disgusting.
By the way, King, 32% on King. I mentioned it before on FanDuel. Yeah,
I like on FanDuel. I think it's all you taking Zeb shots on Zebby is definitely worth doing. He's like 6,100 over there, I think.
He's 61. He's not going to be that owned because it's just easier. There's a lot of good players on FanDuel, like around 3K.
Yeah.
Salary, of course, matters for Shohei and Judge and those kind of guys. But you can get a really good lineup.
But if you want the Devers, Seager, Judge, Shohei lineup, Zebby's, even if that is even at all possible, but something like that, like Zebby is going to be your guy.
The other part of it though is then everybody that has Zebby is just going to play those 4 guys. So now you're just battling.
They don't play him. People don't. I don't think enough people play like that. I think he's going to be low on.
Kevin Gausman, historically a really good pitcher, but we're talking about a slate that has terrible pitchers, and we're just now getting to him. He's just been disappointing by his standard. 4.42 ERA. Not that he's been terribly unlucky. 4.2 Sierra. The Ks aren't great, 21.5%. I think he's fine on this slate, but he's just another guy. It seems like at this point, Kirkwood.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Hey, wait.
What do you got? What do you got, Chop?
I was just gonna say people are People are commenting all over the internet saying that the Astros may have actually gotten the best Toronto pitcher via the trade deadline. It wasn't Gausman. It was Kikuchi the whole time. That's what people are saying, not me.
A lot of people are saying.
No,
I mean, like you can make the argument. I know you're kind of making a joke.
Gausman's built his whole career on the splitter, and it's just not working for him this year. Don't know if it's ever going to come back. If this is just a 1 year letdown, who knows? But he's built everything on the splitter, and it's just not working this year. So that's his problem. I like him tonight because LA against the right-handed pitchers just not good. So I think he's firmly in the mix. But do I want to spend that kind of money on Gausman? Man, if I got $9K left over and that's my last spot, sure. But that's going to be a tough sell at that price tag.
We just got Pittsburgh, no Taylor, so you cannot play. I guess you can play Taylor, but that's not beneficial. 2 first names. Bay is in there. McCutchen, Reynolds, Cruz, Joey Bart. Joey, first name. Bart, last name. Batting cleanup there for Pittsburgh. Tellez.
I know a guy named Bart. I know a guy named
he's
Bart.
sitting in timeout right now.
I know a Bort. Could never get his nameplate, unfortunately, whenever he went to Disney. IKF, Hayes, De La Cruz, and then Bay batting last for Pittsburgh. So there's one guy I wanted to talk about. I'm giving a refresh as far as ownership because I'm not getting ownership. I just kind of lost it. Maybe I need a refresh here. Yeah, we're going to go. I don't know if you guys have it, but
you got to bring up Erod?
Yes, because I have a take on Erod. I saw him hitting ownership early today, like at 22% or something like that. Well, you give me your take, Kirk. Do you have an Erod take? First of all,
you had a take. You just said you had a take, and you're strong, and you came in strong, and then you want to hand it off. Come with it.
Okay. I mean, I'm just the host. I'm happy to be the assist man, but yeah, only one game. It's small sample stuff, but he's 30, 31, and he's an old 31. A lot of mileage on his arm. Didn't have any rehab starts. They just kind of threw him out there, and he stunk. 3.1% swinging strike rate. His velocity's down 4 miles per hour from where it was historically, like mid-90s. Now it's down 91-ish. Don Easy saying I'm on the fence. I'm not on the fence. I am not playing Erod. I don't care that he's playing the Rockies. I don't care that the Rockies are terrible. In fact, I might even play some Rockies.
Stevie just burned you. Good.
What? Oh, is that Stevie? No.
I assume.
Well, you chimed in because I thought you had a.
I was just guessing. I had a feeling you were going there.
Yeah. So I am not playing Erod. I'm hopeful he's popular. 3.1% swinging strikes. Again, this is just one game. 4.3% Ks, 8.7% walks. You got barreled at a 10% rate. I think he's done, and they just got to roll him out there because I don't know if you guys know this. I was looking at his contract status. He's contracted to Arizona for the next 4 years. They got him for a 4-year, $80 million deal. This is the first year of it. What a disaster.
No,
I think he's done. I think he's toast. What? It's not. You think he's still got something left? Well, take the other side.
Okay, maybe I wasn't paying attention. Who are we talking about here?
Erod, remember he used to pitch for Boston. He was good several years ago.
You're writing him off after
over.
This would be his first spring. That last start would have been his first spring training. And no, these pitchers don't get it together that quick. No, first of all, 4 for 80. That's actually a bargain these days, if we're being honest.
You think Arizona's happy with that contract? They wouldn't throw it in the trash if they could?
No, I don't think they. No, because you always need the potential. Maybe there's a potential there for that arm helping you out at some point.
He was great with Detroit.
His arm's dead.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't agree either. I think he was 1 out away from a quality start in his first with 65 pitches in his first out.
Quality start.
He's just
the good pitchers never warm up in spring training. It takes them a while, man, to get going like that. So just give him time. He'll be all right. Is tonight the night? It's a great matchup. I don't know that
it should be. If ever the night is the night, it should be tonight against Colorado.
That's forcing it. This is his second start. Period.
This is like his second spring training start. These guys are still working on stuff at this point. None of these guys. come out
He
the
had
gate.
a bunch of side sessions for what it's worth. Like he had a lot of simulated
That
games.
doesn't
kind of
mean
nonsense.
nothing, Dean. Come on, man. Side sessions. Anyways, I disagree that it's a bad contract. I think 20 mil a year in this day and age for an arm that
For a dead arm.
it is not dead yet. We don't know that for sure,
Nah,
Dean.
he got hurt. He's 31
Yeah.
years old. He's fine.
Yeah,
You
he's
come
hurt
back.
and
You
he's
come
old
back
and it's dead.
this time next year, and if he's still pitching terrible,
You could say the same things about like so many pitchers that are
Clip
pitching
this and
great
play
at
this next
point.
year when Erod's retired.
I'll clip it and play it at the end of the night
Yeah,
when he
this
goes
is a
like
hot
7
take.
strong.
You just said so you're having either way. Okay, if he pitches
Yeah.
badly tonight, well, it's
Yes,
not fair.
because
He
I
didn't
didn't
get a
make
spring
that
training.
terrible take. So yes, if
Yeah.
he pitches badly, it's still a spring training. If he pitches great, then you are way wrong, buddy.
I love it. Like it's a win-win for you, Chop.
That's
So-
the
so
way.
he's,
Dean,
he's
that's
a-
the
he's a
way
play
we do
for
it.
you?
That's this America, Dean. It's a win-win for me. I gotta
Why
set.
would America do
I
it?
gotta
Why-
set it up to where it's a win-win for me and a no.
No
lose
wonder
for
he
me.
wanted to pass it off on me.
No kidding, man.
I was just happy. I thought you were going to double down, and I thought you were going to agree. I cannot believe I'm in the minority.
No, and
on
if
this.
anyone has like I would be the first to admit now that once he like left Boston, oh, he's terrible, he's washed, he's done. No. Look, I mean, how many times have you called Chris Sale washed, I'm sure, Dean? And
you said he was washed after he got his belly button pierced.
well,
Talking about yourself.
I did. I looked at him in a different light for a little while about that, but you got to roll.
Does he
with
still rock the belly button piercing? Do we know? Is there a visual evidence?
it. I mean, you could. It's not something that I'm looking to dig into, but if you want
Okay.
to, OnlyFans.
I'm just saying, whatever he's doing, it's working. He's been spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up his velocity stuff that I was digging into earlier today, and again, he is still working himself back in theory, but I just don't believe he's 31. I think he's an old 31. I think it's kind of over for him. Now, I think he can get away with it against Colorado because Colorado's horrific. Stevie actually agrees with me, by the way. There you go. As much as Stevie doesn't want to agree with me, he's actually agreeing with me. He's starting to have second thoughts, apparently. But yeah, so it's 2-2. We need somebody to come in and break the tie. So is Erod somebody you're considering as your SP2 tonight? Either one of you guys.
I considered him.
No?
Yes.
I'm not. It's
I'd
just
say yes.
I'm not going to play him, but I considered him.
Yeah, and then you
It's a
said,
yes
wait a
for me,
second.
Dean.
This guy's
He
stunk
is
for
in the
years.
pool of guys I would play at SP2. Like I said, that position is going to be probably the last one I fill out unless I have to go back and make some changes. And he would be in the pool if that's the amount of money I have left. And he just got to, he's not going to come out the gates throwing. You mentioned his, his velocity and stuff. Yeah, it's down. It was down that first
it's
start.
down.
Again, when these guys hit that first spring training game, coming off an injury, especially anything coming off an injury, it's probably going to be down for a while. Maybe that first one was, the one that gets kind of the rust off, and now he gets back up. He doesn't need much. He needs 92, 93, and he'll be fine the way he darts it in there. So
It's location with him anyway. He's got a
exactly.
slider and a changeup, and he's always had a nasty changeup. So it's this. I was impressed with his first start. And
You were impressed. He had a 3% swinging strike rate. What are you
yeah,
talking
it's
about?
not about that.
How is
He
that
got
impressive?
he had one out away from a quality start in 65 pitches.
Oh,
and
you know
let's
that's
in
not-
his first start back.
And to support that, I've said it all year long, Dean. Cleveland at home is one of the toughest offenses in the Major League Baseball this year. He had Cleveland in
Are
Cleveland.
they cheating at home too, just like Kansas City?
No, that's because they put together a really solid
signage.
lineup, and then they changed their ballpark configuration with what I've told you to where you get more wind blowing out, so they're a better offense. Kansas City is for sure cheating. Check out Bobby Witt's blitz.
Dean is still challenging on this daily, saying it's me and you that are pushing this narrative. It's all over Twitter.
I mean,
Yeah, well, just like I say that the People Show, the Twitter is the one that sparked that as well. Same theory, I suppose. Beedriz in chat saying Dean acting like 31's old for a pitcher. It's old for Erod because he's had some injuries and he started pitching at 22. He put a lot of mileage on his arm very, very early. He's been around for a long time. So Yeah, he's an old 31.
I'd say if he started pitching at 22, he's an extremely young arm because most of these guys start pitching at like 8 or 9 years old in Little League.
Well, he's just really good at this.
That was awesome.
What do I do?
That was really good humor right there. Congrats.
By the way,
Chop.
this way,
great.
I'm starting to waver because Eric Johnson says I agree with Dean. So maybe you guys are right. I'm starting. Maybe you guys are onto something. Yeah. All right. This is the kind of things we talk about with this. There's just not a lot of pitchers to discuss.
Yeah. So let me wrap it up for you, Dean. We've talked about some guys, and there's not a lot going on there. Michael King's the clear-cut ace. Do you want to do the whole ownership thing? That's on you. Everything else is really up for grabs. But we've only got about 30, 35 minutes, Dean. We might want to push some offense out here. We want to get to the tiers.
We got plenty of time. We got the knockers coming.
Just steering you in the right direction. You're really off course today, is what I'm trying to say. You took a U-turn somewhere, man.
Well, let's get a take on Chalk. Nasty Nestor.
There you go. That is a good. That could be the turning point of the slate. Honestly, he's got the matchup of the night. And he's been bad. You talk about a guy who's suffering, a left-hander who's suffering from dead arm and might never recover.
And they tried to get rid of him.
Yeah,
no takers.
So he's got the matchup. Hasn't had the backing on his performance. So this is a tough one right here because he's cheap with that.
A lot of fly balls. Yeah, I mean, is he going to give up his homers to Chicago? Maybe. I don't like him as chalk, but that's kind of where we're at. By the way, we did have a slight issue, it appears, with Lineup HQ, but give it a refresh. Mine is working now, and it's good to go. Looks like they actually updated. Ownership is just updated like a minute ago or so. Not sure if anything changed drastically, but I saw Joey in chat mentioning that Lineup HQ was acting funky, and it was for me a little bit as well, but we are good to go now. Cortez 27% after King. King is 52. Blackburn 21. Gaussman 20. Morton 18. Erod is at 17. So he was like a 22 earlier in the day. So I don't know if we moved the needle.
You know what it is? There's no price savings with him at 8,700. That's the
no. That's the other part of the argument that I didn't bring up was salary thing because Chop was talking about is like a garbage SP2. He's not priced like a garbage SP2.
No,
He's 8.7K.
That's why it would be tough to roster him. But let's just sorting by salary right now. If I got 8,800 left over and that's my spot, I'll probably take him over. I'll probably take him over Cortez and Charlie Morton. But to be honest with you, I don't know if we've talked about him enough. I probably would not take him over Zebby Matthews. So
people are going to play him because he projects decently on.
Yeah.
Across the industry. So
officially no Ketel Marte for Arizona. Perdomo leading off.
Yeah,
there's a huge opportunity.
So he didn't play last night either. He got out first at bat. He re-injured.
He was out there, but he
got mid at bat.
He was out there long enough to be on my lineup and get 0 points for me. Perdomo leading off. McCarthy, Gurriel, Bell, Grichuk, Suarez. Left on left, Carroll's in there in the 7th spot, kind of a necessity. Newman and Herrera, backup catcher as well. Arizona, we'll talk about it, like one of the top teams when it comes to team total, but I understand why, but that lineup is not good. Okay.
I hit them hard last night when they were down 4-3. And lucky to get that.
I was going to bet them when they were down 4-1. Weren't they down 4-1? I think I was staring.
Yeah, that would have been better. I got basically even money when they were down 4-3 with a run around, and I was like, "There's no way the Rockies are going to end up winning this game."
So we had a debate, a healthy debate. Now we're probably going to debate a little bit more because Kirkwood, tell the people what is our stack category. I want the people to give the best and the worst of this variety. You kind of teased it yesterday, and we went through with it today. What do we have as far as today's stack category for the people?
Okay, so I wanted to push the envelope a little bit, and not only that, I wanted to kind of conform this around the slate that we're given, if that makes sense to you. So basically, this slate has a lot of decent offenses in good spots and not much pitching. So there's going to be a lot of parity in these offenses, right? Like around in the middle stuff. So I wanted to have all kind of good and one really bad at the bottom, but like just Yeah, so I thought HBO shows was perfect, right? Like we all love our Sunday night HBO shows throughout the years. So I started at the top, and the top would be The Wire / Sopranos. Now this is pushing the envelope because I gave them both. I gave them / both number one
fence.
because they are both absolutely elite shows. I don't even have a preference between one or the other because they're both the best in my eyes. And it would do a disservice. There'd be no separation really if I made if I put one of them in number 2. So then the second category was Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is I was considering number 1 actually, to be honest with you, but a timeless show. It's something I will continue to watch forever and ever. And then Eastbound and Down, classic, hilarious show. I put Entourage in the last turn. I think Entourage, for me, my vantage point, and this is only me that did this, is that some people might like Entourage more than I loved Entourage. I remember it was a you can't miss show. But I think it hung on a little too long. And then
about 3 years too long.
And then you got a big cliff. You got a big cliff drop down to the last category, which is Ballers. These are also, I didn't want to get into the game of canceled shows or things like that. These are all shows that have been successful, is the way I was framing this. So that's it.
We were talking about The Idol being possibly the biggest disaster ever in HBO's history. Came out a couple of years ago. I think it was Johnny Depp's daughter. And the dude that did the halftime show, the singer, he's got the gif where he can't find where he's going. Chop, I know you know who I'm talking about.
The Weekend.
There you go. Yeah.
Californication left out is insane. This is only HBO.
That's Showtime. Yeah, you got to get your networks correct there.
You're going to come with
no Game of Thrones.
Obviously, we would have Dexter to worry about too, and that's like. But this is just.
Which, by the way, it's coming back. They're rebooting.
And I'm not a Game of Thrones person. I'm sure there's people who probably love obviously there are people who love Game of Thrones, but I kind of have a rule. I hate going back too far in time. It's got to be 1930s or above for me to get into something. And I don't like Men in Tights and things like that. So I just never I can't get into
the Mel Brooks movie Men in Tights or just actual Men in Tights. You're talking
The Leftovers. I loved Peter. I'm with you.
That's a great show.
I love that. I also Barry is a incredibly underrated show, and I love that show. That's why I said leaving off Barry hurts, but this kind of this was kind of the top tier, except for the cliff drop to Ballers.
Can we get a poll in the chats? Sopranos. Let's break the tie. Sopranos versus The Wire.
Wait, we need a poll. We have a new poll.
I did watch Hung, for the record. I did watch that show. It wasn't that great, but it just kind of hung around. But do we want to add anything to it as far as the poll, or just have it? Let's break the tie. Sopranos versus The Wire. Do we want to add
I was going to try to incorporate Hung. Your favorite Hung.
Nobody's going to vote for Hung. Nobody remembers Hung.
Nobody but you, maybe.
I saw it. I watched it. Boardwalk Empire is spectacular. One of my favorite sneaky ones that is 6 Feet Under. That's one of my favorites. Underrated. HBO.
Okay. Now, when I made this list, I was fully aware that there's going to be the youngins, in my opinion, that love Ballers. It's a popular show. This is my opinion. I get hyped at the beginning, the Lil Wayne song, the show just doesn't do it for me.
So Dean, I'd like to chime in here.
Go for it.
Not that I'm not gonna, the list is fine. It's his opinion right there. I personally never got into Curb. I think I watched a couple episodes, so I'm not gonna hate on any of that. Yeah, I don't know, just not my. I just never got into it. But I would say that it's a very tough, like he said. Some of the things that hadn't even been mentioned, Dean. I think these are HBO shows. I hope I'm not. Wasn't Deadwood an HBO show originally?
Yeah, it was.
They rebooted. That was a good. Succession was okay. I mean, it got a lot more.
Succession was kind of recent. I could put there, but
White Lotus.
I would have put that in Entourage instead of Entourage, but
White Lotus was an awesome
Succession
show.
Is spectacular.
I loved White Lotus. There were some really good parts in there.
If we go,
there's a third season coming up.
Going a little bit back in time, Dean, I'd even say for me personally, I liked True Blood. I thought that was cool when it first came out. Silicon Valley was an awesome show. Silicon Valley was a very
6 Feet Under.
That was a good one.
The Ali G show. Just before he went all crazy and started doing the weird movies, I thought that was good. Now, when down there in 4 and 5, where we want to list bad, the Idol definitely probably deserved to be down there.
Yeah.
Also, Dean, even though I loved Game of Thrones, I hate House of Dragons, and I have to stop watching it. So I would have put that down there. Also, a very overrated show that I never got into, Sex and the City. You could have put that down in 5.
People are saying Oz, and I had Oz on the original list. He was in the Entourage spot, but I was like, I had totally forgot about Entourage. But Oz, I liked. Oz was a great show too.
J.K. Simmons. Shout out J.K. Simmons. I don't know
6 feet under. I mean, 6 feet under. Chuck, did you get into that at all?
I just mentioned before. It's like one of my favorite underrated shows.
I got it. It's out on like Netflix or something. I think I got it queued up. One of these days, I'm gonna watch it.
It's dark.
Veep is terrible.
Veep is excellent.
I never got into Veep either.
Yeah. I tried.
Veep is spectacular. What are you talking about?
No.
All right. We do have to talk about some baseball. We got plenty of time. Crunch time coming in about 25 minutes or so. Really nothing dicey when it comes to weather. But, of course, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth, he's going to be here, as well as Taylor and Will. Maybe they'll chime in as far as the board. But let's go ahead and knock these out. Chop, you said you already have yours ranked. So we'll have that conversation in just a second. The first game, 7-10, of course. First pick tonight is 7-10. Boston, we'll go ahead and go to Kirkwood because he's got his Red Sox. 10 total. Cutter Crawford, who just cannot stop giving up homers. Jose Urena keeps getting away with it. He just keeps being like, okay, and I'm waiting for him to implode. No Duran again for Boston, but they still have a team total just above 5. Pretty good environment weather-wise as well. Looks like a crosswind now, but I was looking before, and Weather Edge was popping to a reasonable degree. Let me confirm where it's at as I throw it to Kirkwood. Where do you have the Red Sox and the Rangers?
I actually have them as my third and my fourth and my fifth favorite stacks on the night. So I'm going to put them right outside of the top tier. And they're kind of like Sopranos on the Wire to me. I like both sides. Cutter Crawford has been giving up bombs left and right. He's just very hittable. And I think the book's out on him right now. And then on the other side, you always want to go against Urena. I love, and it's watered down a little bit. I mean, Duran makes that lineup at the top there, or when they face a pretty bad righty. But the weather's better than it was yesterday. It's going to be close to 80 degrees. Lineup has a lot of upside against Urena and the Texas bullpen. So 5.5 run total. So yeah, I'm on board with either side of this game. And
Seager looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean Seager's I tagged him on our plays today.
Let's see. Weather Edge has this game getting a bump in home runs at somewhere in the teens. Yeah, 16%. Bump and runs just 2.6%. 877 game sample. Boston did have like 2 or 3 pinch hits yesterday. If you remember, they were kind of threatening to come back. I think it might have came back. I can't remember now how it went down, but there was like 2 or 3 pinch hitters in a row.
It went to extra innings.
Yeah, like some of these guys like Dom Smith, Ref Snyder, some of these guys are like Sogard, Rafaela. There's no guarantee they're going to stick around the entire game. Obviously, they all can't get pinch hit for, but just sort of throwing it out there. Chop, do we agree? Do we disagree with Kirkwood as far as his placement of the Rangers and Boston?
I actually have Boston up in the Sopranos category. Just feel like the Urena's just kind of like hanging on by a thread, and now he's going to get a road game against Boston with some decent, favorable hitting weather. Yeah, I like Boston tonight, so that's my only.
I'm gonna stick with Kirkwood. I got to break the tie. I'm gonna stick with Kirkwood. I just don't love. Again, the pinch hit stuff's kind of annoying. Urena's not been as terrible as I want him to be. The lefty power outside of Devers is not that spectacular. I like Devers, obviously a good bit. Devers and Seager, the 2 clear like best hitters, but I'm going to keep them in curb.
Abreu's a good shot at a homer tonight.
He's fine, yeah. Power says Ballers was a great show. Suits should be the top though. Suits was never an HBO.
Yeah, these are HBO shows.
Yeah. These are HBO specific, to be clear. All right, moving on. Next game. By the way, are we getting the likes for the knockers? We got to get the likes for the knockers, the BBP suggestion play of the day. Got to get that all out before crunch time comes in. So do hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications. And, of course, we want to get Kirkwood's Juggalo bombs. Do we have just one? Are you going to be – well, I guess we'll wait and see how many Juggalo bombs.
I have 0 at the moment. I have 1. I mean, I'll say it every time, but, like, this one, I'm going to give a free one. I'm going to give a teaser.
Oh, we got to get the likes. Okay.
I don't care. I'm going to give 1 anyway because a tease. The real shocker. Devers is going yard tonight.
Oh, wow. Bold proclamation.
Yeah. You guys made me do a non-bold one. So I said
it's dealer's choice. You can be as bold as you want to be.
Yeah, you put the pressure on. You force it.
You feel the pressure. Oakland and the Mets, cavernous ballpark there. Paul Blackburn, revenge game against Joe Boyle. Chop, where do you have the Athletics and the Metropolitans?
You know, it just didn't jump off the charts to me, so I got both teams down in the third tier, eastbound and down. Although Oakland they did make the cut, and I'm not saying they're going to be the Choppers knockers today, 2 of their guys, but 2 of their guys did make the cut into the Final Four. So I do like that aspect, but otherwise it seems pretty mundane to me.
How many cuts do you have? Like you whittled down to from what to 4 to 2? Like how does that go?
I start off looking at the entire slate, and then I started, cutting off teams, and then just get it down. Every slate is different. Dean, is DFS on this particular slate. There was a Final Four of duos that I thought, man, these could all make. And one of them was the aforementioned Boston Red Sox, and Devers was one of them. And I was like, no, I can't do that. That's
Devers, Yoshida, or something like that.
Yeah, it was Devers and Rafaela. So, but I was like, nah, I can't do Devers. So I got bumped them out. But yeah, Oakland, 2 of those Oakland guys are in the Final Four. They might be the knockers tonight. We'll see. Stay tuned.
All right. So both teams hanging out with Kenny Powers, eastbound and down. Any issues here, Kirkwood?
I mean, the Mets have scored 1 run in like in their last 30 innings of baseball.
You have some recency bias because you bet the Mets and it didn't go well for you. So maybe is that seeping in a little bit?
That was from Sunday night, yes.
Yeah. Well, you still remember.
Stupid bet. One of the worst bets I've ever made. I knew it the second I put it in. Yeah, I put the Mets down low. I just not a great park. This kid's okay too. Boyle, who they called up. So I'm not high. I mean, I could see it happening, but I would actually put them both down into the entourage. I'm just not really feeling. I like Blackburn tonight. I think he's gonna have a little extra fire in the tank against his former team. It's in a better situation now. So there.
Boyle this year, 27 innings in the majors, not a big sample, but a 17.8% walk rate. Kind of alarming. Again, small sample stuff, but just that's things don't end well when you're walking 17% of guys. All right. Just wanted to mention that. We'll keep them both in the middle.
Do you know what the walk rate is on first time starters from in their pitchers in their first game?
I don't.
It's over 10%. It's over 10%.
Is that a chop fact or?
No, that's a real fact. I don't remember exactly specific, but I remember it being over 10%.
Fair enough. 2 games down. I believe we have 7 more to go. Kansas City taking on Minnesota. Kirkwood, Zebby Matthews, which I think instantly becomes the greatest athlete ever named Zebby, to my knowledge at least. We'll have to Google that. Seth Lugo on the other side. No Buxton, another guy that got injured. We didn't mention we were talking about all the injuries. Buxton got hurt yesterday too. What a bummer for Minnesota. Hopefully nothing too serious. I didn't see how terrible that is, but he was removed. History of injuries, obviously. 2 first names, Austin Martin, if you're playing the game. If you guys are not aware, it's scrolling to the bottom. Jump in the Discord. RotoGrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel. Get yourself a week free of RG Premium. Take down that contest. Doesn't cost you anything. Rock the RG badge. Get yourself 2 weeks free. The only thing we ask you to do is play a player that has 2 first names, and that's up to producer Steve, myself, Devin. We're the panel, I suppose, to confirm that your lineup is official. Kirkwood, Royals, Twins. What do you got?
Fun fact: Zebby was in contention for my son's name, so I made number 3 on the list and didn't quite make it. Yeah, it was there.
Okay. Is that a family name?
No, it's a lot of Zebbies around. But I like Zebby tonight as a pitcher. I think this kid's pretty good. He throws like 95 to 97. He's got a full arsenal. It's on FanDuel. I think it's a no-brainer to take some shots with him. But I like him on DK as well. The Royals worse, outside of Kaufman. So and I don't think he's going to get a ton of play tonight. So I like him, but and I don't really want to pick on Lugo. He's just pretty darn consistent, although I think he's coming off of a pretty bad start. Is that correct? Anyways, but I like mini stacks in this game. So I like from the Minnesota side, I mean, you have to Royce Lewis is just ridiculous.
He's
I
awesome.
don't care who he's facing. I mean,
he's got ice cream in his veins too. You ever hear him say that?
Yeah.
So I see the placement. Did you officially place them, or is that producer?
No, he's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I would put actually I would throw I'm not so high on. I mean, I guess you could I would put the Royals in eastbound and down, but I'm fine in Curb. I have a feeling you guys might like Curb because it is first, kid called up here, so anything can happen. A lot of variance tonight. You don't know whether the nerves are going to hit and whatnot, but I think he's going to do well. So I would put him in eastbound and down.
So I don't see a Zebby, but Zeb Eaton pitched in the majors from 1944 to 1945, and of course, who could forget Zeb Terry? He had a 6-year run from 1916 to 1922. Played him a lot that year in DFS. Chop, are we good with this as far as both teams being placed in eastbound and down? Any issues?
No, I can't really. I won't really have any issues with it. I would say this, Dean, as far as Minnesota against Lugo, I could make a case for him in Entourage. Lugo's actually been really good this year. I don't think it's necessarily flukish. Kansas City, I'm kind of high on Zebby. Like Kirk says, he's got a pretty good fastball up in the zone.
Fair bit of K's in the minors.
Yeah, he's a top 100 prospect, and there's a couple of things working in his favor. Is number one, this game is in Minnesota. Kansas City scores the 3rd most runs at home this year in all of Major League Baseball. They are bottom 10 on the road runs per game. So maybe it's flukish, but that helps his case. And, I like him. I'd much rather roster Matthews than I would a KC full stack. But with that being said, if there's one guy that does profile pretty well against him, it's Vinny Linguini. Not that I'm going to play him, but with
totally on a Tuesday.
Okay, if you say so. But you're just from the profile of a hitter and liking the sweet spot of
it
where
is
that pitch is.
It is Tortellini Tuesday. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I can get on board with this.
So I see in the chat that Devin says, I'm sure it's short for Zebediah. I just found I'm trying to find the Wikipedia page. I'm going to confirm or deny that.
Jed Zebediah.
I've heard Jebediah. I'm not aware of Zebediah, but maybe that's a name I'm just not familiar with.
Yeah. We talked about that when I was naming my son about whether we were going to do Zebediah.
All these were on the Family Feud board, and it was like Jack. Like just all right. And they all got shot down, unfortunately. They're all strong names.
Didn't make it to the end. My favorite name, honest to God, I really would have named my son this, was Kirkwood. But the significant other wasn't going for it and actually got really mad at me anytime I mentioned it.
Izzy, and I trust Izzy. Izzy saying the name is officially Daniel Zebulon Matthews. So there you go. That sounds like I'll buy that. Sure, why not? Okay, Yankees and the White Sox. This is I forgot who's playing right now. Who's up? Who's batting here?
Chops up.
Chopper, Nestor Cortez, Jonathan Cannon. Yankees close to a 6 total. No Jazz in that lineup. Verdugo, Soto, Judge, Wells, Giancarlo Stanton, Ben Rice facing the righty. Torres, Cabrera, I think Cabrera's in there for Jazz, and then Volpe in the 9-hole, taking on a White Sox team that won the slate yesterday, I believe. Certainly put up a pile of runs. I want to say 11. They're still really, really cheap. Cortez is vulnerable to giving up some fly balls, so you can make the case for Chicago, even though the team total is just around 3-ish. Where do we have Chicago and the Yankees, Chop?
So that ballers category down there is kind of empty right now. So let's put the White Sox down there. And, not that I'm a big fan of Nestor, but, Chicago won that game last night and they were popping champagne and they were celebrating. I got a feeling that this is going to be a really tough game for them. And the Yankees is probably pretty embarrassed, hopefully. And I got a feeling Nestor probably has a fairly short leash before it gets out of hand. They're going to get some bullpen in there. They don't want to lose 2 in a row. So I got a feeling that stack is probably not in great shape tonight. On the other side, the New York Yankees offense, I'm going to put them in the wire / Sopranos. I just feel like Canada's not bad, but he has his weaknesses against. I think it's left-handed pitching. He's really susceptible to at this point. It's just not striking guys out the way you should. So he can give up some fly balls. I don't know. I'll put him up there. Like I said, my thing is, I got these guys mapped out into a perfectly symmetrical thing, so I can't break it now. But, if the White Sox were to pull the upset tonight again, boy, Grady Sizemore might be in contention for Manager of the Year.
They're talking about A.J. Brzezinski taking over eventually, which
that would be awful.
I mean, he doesn't see – I mean, I feel like he wasn't a well-liked guy when he played. He was one of those, keeper of the games kind of guy, like Brian McCann, you're breaking the unwritten rules. He got a share of scraps. I don't know if the players liked him. I have no idea, but just sort of throwing that out there. So we got, by the way, in the poll currently, we have 129 votes. Sopranos, 60%. The Wire, 40%. So Sopranos in the lead currently. Joe in chat is asking why are there 2 and 1? Well, we should
have had a third and said, of them being the same. How many people actually think they're identically good?
Okay. I mean, yeah, well, I guess the poll is the poll now, but that's fair. And somehow we have more votes in the poll. People are voting in the poll, but not hitting the like button. Not sure how that happens. Kirkwood, any issue here with the Yankees all the way up top, hanging out with Tony Soprano, and the White Sox hanging out with the Rock?
I'll tell you who's an absolute bum. Alex Verdugo.
Oh.
Guy gets up there, decides to with runners on first, second to start the inning, and then he gets up there, decides to bunt, and pops the bunt up. He also dives on every play in the outfield, makes so many egregious errors, and the guy has not hit. He has literally 1 home run in the month of August and 1 home run in the month of July. He's awful, and he's going to be chalk. He's going to continue to be chalk at this price. I get it, but My strategy last night was to not play Verdugo, not play Stanton, who I thought were the 2 highest owned, and I went to Jazz, and I'll play them again. I'll do the exact same thing tonight, and I'll go down to Ben Rice, maybe play. I'll let ownership dictate it, but also you want the left-handed bats typically, but I'm going to pass on Verdugo tonight. Although I might play him on Yahoo as a chalk blocker.
I don't want to go on my rant, but why is Soto not leading off? What's the point? What are we doing? Why would Soto not be?
Good idea.
I mean, Verdugo should be batting ninth.
Yeah, just hit your best players higher in the order, because they get to hit the
most. We've had this conversation about I don't want a guy that has too much power leading off because you're kind of crippling him with guys on base, no guys on base. But in Soto's case, he's not hitting for power anyway. He's a walk merchant, so he does make a good leadoff hitter.
And Kirkwood, I assume you're good with the board. You didn't say anything, I don't think, as far as chop selection.
I just wanted to get my Alex Verdugo rant out there. That's all.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
As a Red Sox fan,
we got 5 games and about 12 weeks to go.
I have no problem playing some of these White Sox again. I'd put them up there. They're a little bit. Are they hot? Is that what we say right now? Are they?
I think they should be an entourage if you want to move in the entourage.
I played them last night. That was the key. I had Benintendi and actually I had what's his name, the Lopez. leading off last night at second.
Oh boy,
But,
what did he do? Did he have like
21.
three
He got
hits,
like
three
9
singles?
points. He was great.
Yeah, maybe a walk and like yeah.
He did. He walked his first at bat and scored on a Benintendi double, I think it was. But anyways, I would move the White Sox up. Probably Entourage is probably fair, but you know, for like picking out like one or two of these guys just to fill in your lineup, I think is good. So.
Okay, Kirkwood, Dodgers, Brewers. Let's pick up the pace. Colin Ray, Gavin Stone, 9 total. Dodgers are slight favorites here, locked in for 9. Of course, Betts back now for LA makes the lineup look a lot better. At least the front 4. Muncy, I think, is coming back soon. We'll see. Michael Harris, I saw apparently coming back tomorrow. Just a heads up for Atlanta. I saw Wednesday is his target date, so Atlanta getting healthier as well. But yeah, Dodgers, Brewers, Kirkwood.
I like the Dodgers a lot. So Dodgers are my third favorite. I mean, the Dodgers are back. The lineup is back. They've got Mookie there. So I mean, you got that murderer's row of 1, 2, 3, 4 with Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, and Teoscar. Will Smith being back down a little bit he's not having the greatest season, but you know, still deadly. But so I like this lineup a lot more. The problem is it's tough to play it, but you can certainly play it on FanDuel if you use Zebby, and if you use Zebby on DK too, you can make it work. So I'm gonna put them up in the top.
Sopranos, The Wire
on the road. Colin Ray, I just don't think. I mean, he's overperforming all season long, tougher for these lefties. You can also steal bases on him. So Shohei's so expensive, but he's freaking worth it. You know, he can get there with speed or with the power. So I like this. I like the Dodgers.
27 stolen bases dating back to last season for Colin Ray. I do want to note that you already talked about it. You have the Brewers in the middle, Kirkwood.
Yeah, just because Gavin Stone isn't. I mean, the Brewers can go off. You know, Jackson Churio, Contreras is not bad. And they're cheap, like Tyler Black batting cleanup. I don't know what the pinch hit risks would be on this guy, but
Chop, anything, any discrepancies, or shall we move on? Because we are at the mercy of the clock soon enough.
Well, stop talking then, Dean. Let me get my words in. Listen, I have no problems with where these guys are ranked. I'll say this, though. Shohei is going for a 50-50 season this year, and he's making it a real thing to steal bases now. Like, he's not just goofing around. He's trying to run up the score now on people.
He's like 36, 37, something like that. What are they? 36 homers, 33 stolen bases. I don't think it's 50 stolen bases. Not sure, but we'll see. 40-40 for sure, right? And is Canseco the only guy to do 40-40? Somebody else did 40-40, right?
Probably like Eric Davis of the Reds or somebody like that.
He didn't do it. Bonds might have did it.
Okay.
No, he didn't. I know Canseco was like, yeah.
Bonds would be the guy I would think.
I mean, it's 50-50 is what he's going for. And I guess legit, too.
Oh, yeah, Acuna went 40-70 last year, Brandon's telling us. Did he hit the 40 like on the last day of the season? I feel like he was really, really close to 40 right at the end. Yeah. A-Rod and Soriano also in 40-40. There you go. Yeah, remember A-Rod would steal bases? Okay. Chop, let's keep it moving. Next game is Toronto. No Toronto lineup just yet for whatever reason. Well, it's kind of a late game. Gorman Thomas did 40-40. Is that true? I have to Google that. And the Angels, 9 total. Kind of a coin toss. Toronto slight favorite. Kevin Gausman. Chop, where do you have the Angels and the Blue Jays?
Not a big fan of the Angels against right-handed pitching in general. I got them down there in Entourage. And Toronto I have in the curb category against Fulmer. He just gives up too many fly balls and too many walks. That's a bad combination.
We have any issues here with the board here, Kirkwood?
No issues.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dramatic pause.
My kid's in the bath and he's making a lot of noise.
Is that Jebediah? Jebediah making a lot of noise in the background? Did I get that right? I think it was almost. It was in the running. That was like the semifinals. Colorado.
No, I never considered that name. Zebediah.
I'm sorry. My apologies. By the way, Corbin Thomas did not go 40-40. I just did a little Google, and that did not happen. Colorado, Arizona, Erod taking on the great Erod taking on Colorado, they're also horrendous. Austin Gomber, 8.5 total. Arizona feels like it'd be a little more exciting if they weren't dealing with some injuries. But yeah, this is your board, Kirkwood. Where are we putting the D-backs and the Rockies?
D-backs and Curb, watered down lineup because of injuries, but still all guys that can produce, that can hit bombs, can also steal bags. So I like a lot of them. Gomber is just, there were times when you thought that maybe he would be okay, like one of the better starters in the Rockies, but he's nothing. So, and that bullpen is just horrendous. And you don't have to. They have one lefty in there. Is that correct?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, yes. As last I checked, Bloch is still in the minor, as far as I know, but I will confirm.
Yeah, it's just going to be righty again after righty after righty. So don't worry about Corbin Carroll or Jake McCarthy. So I like this lineup a lot. So I'm going to put
the righties though, like Jock might come in right at some point. Is the thing. Like some of these righties that are fringy, like a Kevin Newman, those guys are vulnerable.
I think Newman's going to stay in, is what I would predict, because I think
because of his defensive position.
Yeah, I think he's going to take Ketel Marte, and he came in for Marte last night too, and he's also been on fire, right? And he's stealing bags. So I really like Newman as a 2.2K punt tonight. But I like the Rockies, so I'll put them in eastbound and down because I think, obviously we said our things about Erod, but I'm just not saying he's done long term. I think it's a good, he's probably not going to be that great tonight. He's probably not going to go that long tonight. Now's the time to get him. If he is going to be played because projections kind of like him, then this is a good spot to play some Rockies. So put them right.
I'm seeing all righties, by the way, in Colorado's bullpen. The one lefty they have looked like they got rid of him. So it's all righties. So there is some vulnerable pinch hit stuff. Like Peterson seems like a guy that's going to join this game at some point. Montero might join the game at some point, possibly for Herrera. Just sort of throwing it out there. Chop, any issues with Colorado and Arizona as far as Kirkwood's placement?
That's where I have them ranked.
Good. Okay, we got 2 more games. We got to get those knockers out. So we got crunch time coming in 3-4 minutes, give or take. So let's push it, Chop. Pittsburgh, San Diego, 8 total. Mike King, the chalk pitcher, half the field's going to have him at least on DK. Where do you have the Pirates and the Padres?
How dare you tell me to push it when you're jaw-jacking, brother? Come on.
What?
Man.
Jaw-jacking?
Shame on you. Pittsburgh
Kirkwood's filibustering for like, I don't know what
listen,
he's got to give his rant about
somebody's got to be
Alex
in ballers.
Verdugo.
Somebody's got to be in ballers. So that's got to be Pittsburgh. It's just got to be. There's just no other way. We can't have a show without ballers on the slate this big. San Diego, for me, is going in. I'm going to push the limits here and put them up in curb. I think that their lineup is pretty well constructed, and Ortiz he's average at best.
We got the Pirates all the way at the bottom. The only best argument you can make is the leverage deal, right? And I don't mind the little mini with Reynolds and Cruz, but I understand why you're throwing him in the bottom. Kirkwood will be good with this. San Diego hanging out with Larry David and Curb and Ballers for Pittsburgh.
Yep, perfect.
Atlanta, San Fran, Kyle Harrison, Charlie Morton, an 8 total. Not a great ballpark for offense. Not the same pitchers we had last night, but of course we had a pitcher's duel there. Where do we have the Braves and the Giants? Kirkwood, let's close us out.
I'll put Atlanta just because of the variance that they can hit bombs. Tough park, but at least they're going to the left field with the platoon against Harrison. So Soler, Riley, Ozuna, all these guys can hit bombs. So I like more as a mini, but I'll put them in eastbound, and then I don't have much interest in San Francisco. Maybe both in eastbound, because there are bats I do like singly. Like I like Fitzgerald. Ramos is back. Conforto and Morin is just like so hit or miss. It's like, talk about a high variance.
Hit last time.
Yeah.
Hit last time.
Yeah.
He got absolutely
shellacked. I think he probably has a good start tonight, but I would play it both ways. But I want to let you know that my Juggalo bombs are ready. I'm ready ahead of time for once.
You say bombs, plural. That to me implies you have a Juggalo bomb 1 and a Juggalo bomb 2.
I've got 3.
Whoa! All right, put those on hold for just a second. Chop, I know you're talking about how you pre-rank your teams. It's kind of symmetrical. It's almost like we're getting the middle finger flipped at us. If you kind of flip the board, did you want to change this around? Or we go with what Kirkwood had as far as the Pirates and the Braves?
No, that's fine. That's fine. That works for me. Very similar. Not enough to, combat it. You know
what time it is, Chop? BBP suggestion of the day and the knockers.
All right.
What do you got?
BBP suggestion of the day. We ran the first algorithm and spit out some names. Then we go through the ridge regression model algorithm, and then that spits out the final dose of names. And this time it came up Corey Seager. We're going Corey Seager out there. It's got some outstanding numbers against Cutter Crawford. So we're going Corey.
What was that second algorithm you run it through? What was the second one called?
The ridge regression model.
Patent pending.
Is that a new one? I feel like you just kind of made that one up on the fly.
I'm giving you a little peek behind the curtain, Dean. No, I didn't come up with that. It's an actual thing. If we got any, I bet Derek Hardy knows what it is. But anyways, now we got the knockers, Dean.
Yeah.
Let's
go out on the West Coast, get some of them San Diego knockers because they're always
some fake knockers.
No, San Diego. That's LA. That's LA knockers.
Okay.
Are usually fake. The San Diegos. San Diego's are usually nice and tanned and, Latina knockers, whatever they are. Here's what I got for you, Dean. I'm going Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill. And listen, Jackson Merrill, some people are saying that is the true Jackson to build your franchise around.
That's my Juggalo bomb.
It's not Chirios or Holiday?
That's number 2.
Oh, boy.
Wow, this is the first time we have a Juggalo bomb and a knocker on the same night.
The Venn diagram is real. Like, for sure, it's going to be.
Remember, look at Chief and I.
Chief did in there. Chief is a Juggalo.
Yeah, he's a big member of Jug Nation.
Dang, Chiefy.
Why weren't all 3 of you guys in the picture together?
Because it was a different night.
Dave went for one day. He's like, that's it. I can't take any more of this. Will could take my spot. So let's do it. Let's give the people Juggalo bomb number 1 and Juggalo bomb number 3.
So it was Rafael Devers was number 1. My number 2 is Jackson Merrill, and my number 3 is Eugenio Suarez.
There we go. Seamlessly, we're gonna jump right into crunch time. Crunch time is, I believe, Will is. He can tell us all about his time hanging out with Juggalo Nation and drinking that the Faygo. And whatever else you guys got into, other shenanigans. Taylor Smith as well, and Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth. So let's go ahead. Let's seamlessly bring in crunch time. Here they are. Apologies for keeping you guys waiting. I see a smirk on Roth's face already. Something to say?
I just can't deal with Chop. I just can't. I'm glad we're not on a show together. I don't think I could handle it, but I sure enjoy being behind the scenes when he goes on these rants.
You never know if he's being 100% legit in any moment.
That's the part.
Is he playing a character? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he's super authentic sometimes, and otherwise he can't be serious. That really can't be his take, but maybe it is.
I don't know.
I have zero reason in my life to play a character.
See, I think he's doing it right now. I think that's the bit. I don't know.
Chop is as genuine as it gets.
He might be. I think he just might be. Did you guys have a take as far as the board? Kirkwood made our board today. HBO shows Kirkwood cheated because he's a fence rider. He could not decide. His number 1 was
I pushed the envelope.
That's one way of saying it. Push the envelope. I just didn't want to get the wrath of the chats, but any takes?
This is my ratings. Let me explain it to them. The Sopranos and The Wire are both so good that they're elite, that they're in a category of them together as their own. I didn't want to make one number 2 behind the other one because they're both so good. Then Curb Your Enthusiasm is an all-timer. Eastbound and Down is another all-timer. Entourage is an all-timer that I think hung on a little too long. And then Ballers is the fall off the cliff, and then Ballers. It's the lowest of the low. But these are all successful shows. We weren't doing shows that like got canceled or anything. These were like HBO real successful shows. Is
Eastbound and Down better than Entourage? I've never seen Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
Eastbound and Down is insanely good. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch that.
Right. Have you heard of Kenny Powers? You know the character Kenny Powers?
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I know the gist of it.
Yeah. Now, Danny McBride, I'm fairly certain. I hope he's playing a character. I hope he's not pulling a chop. He's being totally authentic when he's playing that character.
I think I've seen half that show just from Big T GIFs on Twitter.
It's worth getting into. It's
you know what he loves? He loves Eastbound and Down gifts, and then he also likes male junk gifts. Have you ever
He does, yeah.
He loves the, if you want to, yeah, he loves that. I'm not saying anything why or not, but he does love it.
Yeah, so Roth, we're making a list for you. You got to watch Rounders, and you got to watch Eastbound and Down. Next time you're free without the kids, and I don't know when that's going to happen, but next time you have a free day or a free night. Oh, yeah, there you go. I might
watch Rounders tonight. Yeah.
Let us live. Can you live tweet it if you're around?
Probably not, but I'll let you know next time I see you.
Oh, well, so much for that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave Taylor or Will out. They had a thought. By all means, go for it. Otherwise, we can step aside and get out of here and make way for crunch time. Taylor, was there any? Do you want any besmirching on that list? Anything that was off the board that was egregious? Any thoughts?
Nothing egregious. It just makes you think that they realize how many good shows they have. Like Righteous Gemstones isn't on there.
Yeah.
Not that it deserves to be necessarily, but great show. I'm currently watching The Outsider, which is a few years old.
That's a good show,
but it's quite good.
It's more of a mini series thing.
Yeah, one season.
It's good.
What episode are you on? Because it turns out after episode 3 or 4, it's like, oh, this is not the show I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was all supernaturally and stuff, but I was kind of dug in by then. I think we're on 9, so
yeah. Then you're kind of block committed.
Do you watch Barry?
I did watch Barry, and then we stopped watching for whatever reason. I love that show though, but then we have to we forgot what was happening, so we're gonna have to go back and rewatch the beginning. But yeah, great show.
All right, let's step out of here. Let's make way for crunch time. You got 45 minutes. You got 9 games. You have no pitchers you're super excited to talk about. Myself, Kirkwood, Chop, do appreciate y'all watching the first portion. Do hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications, but do not go anywhere. You got 2 of the best in the business. You got Will, you got Taylor, and of course you have Roth holding it down. Roth, take it away.
Good stuff. As always, welcome to it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. It's crunch time. 2 of the sharpest minds in the biz. Going to walk you up to lock. We might go through lock. We'll give you some hitters, some pitchers, some home run calls, and a weather report as well. First, though, let's say hello to the crew. Taylor in the house. What up, Taylor?
Not much. Kind of an ugly slate tonight on the pitching front, but, we all have the same pool of pitchers to go through, so see if we can figure it out together.
That checks out because I feel like yesterday we had all the good pitchers. There was all kinds of options, and so now we've used them all up, and we got to figure out what we're doing. And then we got Chief in the house as well, repping the scores and odds hat, looking sharp. How are you, man?
I'm good, brother. A little bit congested, so I will be muting and unmuting myself. I may have to turn off my camera and hop back on. I'm not sure. By turn off, I don't mean leave the room. I mean just turn my camera off. I don't think so.
Just snotting profusely,
yeah. But I'm doing much better in terms of that area than I was last night. I'm still fairly congested, but I don't feel bad. So I want everybody to know, I'm feeling fine. I don't feel sick. I'm just a little congested.
Yeah. All right. Well, turning the corner on it. Appreciate you fighting through it. Going to be Jordan Flu Game-esque when you give out those winners. Weather-wise, there is essentially nothing of note. And I don't just mean there's no rain chances. I mean there's no extreme heat. There's no extreme cold. There's no extreme winds. It's just it's just nice. It's good everywhere or fine everywhere. Which is great because that makes things easy for me, and that means we can just focus on the plays. And with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Taylor and talk about what we're doing here pitching-wise on DK, where we need 2 of them.
Yeah, so the SP1 kind of by default is Michael King for the Padres against the Pirates at home. He's the highest strikeout pitcher on the slate. He has one of the better matchups against the Pirates. They are fairly righty heavy, which bodes well for King. So it's not the most comfortable chalk. He's a little volatile, especially with control and stuff, but I'm playing a lot of him. He's easily my highest owned player on the slate, and I assume he will be the highest owned player on the slate for everybody. So it's kind of where it is. Beyond that, there's not a lot of clarity. There are quite a few ways to go. I think Nestor Cortez is going to be the popular SP2 by default because he's facing the White Sox. Not comfortable, but he's okay enough. The White Sox are most nights the worst team in the league.
But
last night
have been hitting, right? They've been hitting a little better lately.
They hit a lot last night. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But today's a new day, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, it's kind of muddled. Like Charlie Morton gets a nice park upgrade in San Francisco, but hard to love him at this point. Eduardo Rodriguez, only his second start of the year. He gets Colorado, but pushing 9K could be a little bit limited. There's no telling how healthy he is. But I think he's okay just because of the matchup. Let's see. Paul Blackburn, I think, is going to be kind of a popular SP2 on DK 7,500 against Oakland in a good park. Revenge game. If he's into the revenge narrative, he's got that in his corner. Otherwise, you're kind of just dart throwing. Like, I think Kevin Gausman is okay because he's facing the Angels, but I am playing the Angels against him instead of playing him. He's just not really the guy he was before. Certainly not this season, at least. And I guess you can make a case for like a Kyle Harrison at home against the Braves and just hope that whatever Atlanta does stays in the park. But hard to really have a lot of faith in that. So it's kind of King and then a huge gap and then everybody else.
Okay. And is it the same on FanDuel where essentially you're playing King unless you're trying to get different? And if so, is there anyone cheaper there that you're interested in as a pivot off of King?
It's really just King by himself. He projects far better than everybody else. I think you can play guys like Paul Blackburn. We have this Zebby Matthews guy I forgot to mention as well, making his major league debut. Pretty good strikeout guy in the minors, facing Kansas City. So not an easy spot, but on FanDuel he's only 6,100. So that's certainly something that would be on my radar in tournaments. And he's playable on DK just because of the lack of SP2s, like we said.
Sure. Okay. Chief, I want to bring you in here and get your pitcher thoughts. I assume for you as well, it's King and then the rest.
Yeah, I am going to, full disclosure, I'm not playing King tonight.
Ooh.
I'm only playing one lineup.
Okay.
And so I think King is the best pitcher. I also think offenses are king tonight. See what I did there? So I'm not not playing King because I can play him and feel okay, but I just like the bats better. So I want to make that clear. But if you're playing cash games, like don't not play Michael King in cash. I don't think that's the right decision. I do like Paul Blackburn against Oakland. Nice ballpark for him to pitch in. And, while Oakland may get a few hits off of him, I am hoping that he can just pick up a few strikeouts, limit the runs, and I think he'll cruise. Hopefully he should get the win here, we hope. So I do like him. I've probably got a lot more interest in Kyle Harrison in the field. Look, man, I love the Braves, and I hate attacking my team, but I've done it several times this season. I just plan to do it again. Good ballpark for him to pitch in. Strikeouts have come up since he's come off the IL or, gotten back from injury. Didn't have the greatest start the last time out. I get it. But, man, the Braves, there's just so many strikeouts in this lineup. He could give up 2 runs and get 6 strikeouts, and at 7,400, I'd be perfectly fine with that. So he's in terms of tournaments, I like him a great deal. Man, I saw someone mention Colin Ray. And let me just say, I don't make it a habit of picking on the Dodgers. But you just can't ignore what Colin Ray has done, like, recently. He's seen the Braves twice, which is another reason why I'm so excited about Kyle Harrison tonight. He's seen the Braves twice in back-to-back starts. And he's still, over the past month, Colin Ray has a 33% K rate. 36% to lefties, 31% to righties. I'm not saying he comes out here and murders the Dodgers. I'm saying on a slate where all the pitching is terrible,
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to be playing Colin Ray just in case. Like, Colin Ray could get 17 points tonight, and you probably win. Like, I don't see anyone just completely running away here. So I'm personally playing Blackburn and Harrison. If I was playing more lineups, though, I'd for sure have Colin Ray a ton. But that's just me. Austin Gomber was someone we talked about on the morning grind last night, and I don't think the lineup is as bad as we thought it was going to be. But, if for some reason you just need ultimate salary relief, I don't hate it on such a bad pitching slate. FYI, Taylor, Charlie Morton had his face bashed in the last time. This is kind of a bit, but it's kind of not. Every other start, he's good. I don't know what's going on. He gets beat up, and then he comes out and gets 25 fantasy points, and then he has 8, and he has like 18. And I'm borderline being funny, but I'm borderline not. So maybe I put that to the test in the props world tonight. All in all, though, favorite pitchers on the slate: Blackburn, King, Harrison, Colin Ray. Those are my few pitchers that I like. I'm not playing even if I was multi-entry tonight, I wouldn't be playing Nestor Cortez, and I would not be playing Kevin Gausman. I thought I would have, but I just think they've been so bad. Like, Gausman is kind of the reverse of Colin Ray. His K rate's been like 14% over the past month. And so, I'm trying to approach it from the standpoint, hey, this is what I'm doing tonight. But if I was playing multi-entry, those are a couple of bigger names that I wouldn't be playing, and I just live with the results.
Okay, good stuff. Let's flip it and talk about some of the bats and the stacks. Chief, you can lead us off in that category.
Yeah, in terms of stacks, man, I've been on this since last night. I haven't budged. I'm so glad they had a massive flop yesterday. I'm going right back to Texas and Boston. They're not getting nearly as much ownership as I thought they would overall. I personally think that's the best game on the slate. So I will have plenty of bats from that game. Looks like the Yankees are getting a pretty nice amount of ownership too, or at least the top of their lineup. Totally agree with that. I'm perfectly fine with Minnesota. Seth Lugo, I do think he can limit the run some, but Minnesota's been a good team, and he's been struggling in the strikeout department, especially with lefties here recently, and they have a ton that they're going to throw at him tonight. Like the Milwaukee Brewers, Gavin Stone is not someone I trust. He's been giving up runs left and right. Strikeout stuff hasn't been there, over the past few games and really for most of the season. So really like him. I'm okay with I don't want to stack Toronto, but I'm okay with some one-offs. And then I know the Padres are gutless, but I still like them a ton against Luis Ortiz.
Okay. Taylor, your thoughts here in the stack department?
Yeah, a couple other teams on my radar. I mentioned the Angels. I'm not playing Gausman. I'm playing the Angels against him, just hoping he will catch some ownership. It is a good park for power, too. So as terrible as they are, I'm playing them a bit. And then Arizona against Gomber. They don't have Ketel Marte. They don't have Christian Walker. But it is a pretty affordable lineup on DK, only a couple of guys over 4K. So pretty easy to stack them and still afford King or a more expensive secondary stack. I don't expect them to be under the radar by any means, but I do like Arizona a good bit.
Jeffrey,
can I mention one more thing?
Chat. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, Roth. Didn't mean to cut you off. This is just something that I typically do. Now, I'm not doing it tonight because I'm just playing one lineup. However, Zebby Matthews could be really good. And he has been really good in the AAA double. I mean, his K rate's around 28%. I think that's what it was in AAA this year. I think it's at 28. Has a superb K to walks. I mean, it's fantastic. But it's his first start, and he's got a tough matchup with Kansas City, and we don't know what he's going to do tonight. I would recommend just getting a few shares of some Kansas City bats just in case he has a meltdown right out of the gate.
Yeah, that seems fair. We also had Jeffrey in the chat ask, any interest in the Mets? Taylor, you got any Mets stacks going on?
I really don't. They're pricey. They're facing Joe Boyle, who is really walk prone. So I get it, but personally, I do not have any Mets stacks today.
Okay. Fair enough. I think we go around the horn, talk position by position. Taylor, why don't you tell us who we're playing at the old catcher spot, and we'll work our way through it from there.
I think the chalk is going to be Austin Wells hitting lefty against Jonathan Cannon. I get it in the mid-range. He looks pretty good. Otherwise, I'm kind of paying up a little more. Logan O'Hoppe being my highest owned catcher against Gaussman. Like Sal Perez against Zebi. Chief just mentioned the Royals being in a decent spot in case the rookie just totally blows up in his first game. So Perez, Witt, guys like that are going to look good. I am playing Blackburn, but I don't think a mini stack of Oakland is a bad thing since Blackburn is going to be popular. So Shea Langelier at a pretty weak and shallow catcher spot tonight is winding up in plenty of my lineups. I don't know if we have Toronto yet, but if he is in the lineup, Alejandro Kirk is a cheapie. I don't mind.
Great. Chief, any other names you want to add to that?
Yeah, I definitely want to get both of these catchers from this Boston Texas game, which is one of my favorites. I'm not saying Corey Lee is elite. I'm saying he's grading out as one of the better point per dollar plays at catcher. That's via the bat projections. And he's 2,300. So, like, if you just need some awkward salary relief, has a slight platoon advantage against Cortez. I don't hate that. Love the Alejandro Kirk call. Wells is for sure getting a bulk of the ownership along with Connor Wong. Carson Kelly is not getting as much ownership as those guys. And I think Taylor mentioned O'Hoppe, like O'Hoppe against Gaussman also.
Okay. How about first base?
Yeah, so first base is where it gets interesting for me because I do like some cheap guys tonight. So, like, Horwitz is a guy against Fulmer that I like. He should be in the lineup. If you're a believer that Josh Bell has suddenly, become the Josh Bell of old, facing Gomber tonight at 3,700, he's been really, really great. I like him. Even though I'm okay with Colin Ray, I don't mind Freddie at 5,100. I don't mind Ohtani also. Dominic Smith in the 7th hole, I plan on playing him. Well, I do have him in my lineup for what it's worth because I'm only playing one, but I have Dominic Smith at 3,300. I think that's, a really good spot for him against Urania, who historically has struggled against lefties. I like Nolan Shanuel leading off. And like I said, I kind of like these cheap guys tonight at first. Leading off against Gaussman, we talked about Gaussman's struggles. His K rate is way down over the past month, and it's down on the season also. He's just not the same guy. And then last but not least, I'll put a bow on it with Cronenworth. Cronenworth is a guy, Roth, that has just continually let me down over the past few slates. But I got to think it's going to turn tonight. Case in point, I do like Cronenworth over 1.5 bases also in the prop world.
Great. Taylor, your thoughts at first.
Most of the same guys. I think a couple of spins worth a look. Vlad Jr., of course, in the Toronto stack. Vinny P in the Royal stack. Seth Brown, I think, is an okay cheapie. For Oakland, Shanuel is my favorite. I like that call a lot. Point per dollar wise. Josh Bell, also cheap. And that's really it. Maybe Matt Olson, lefty, going to be super low owned, but not my favorite spot.
Okay. How about second base?
Second base, so you can play Horwitz here on DK. If you're playing Vlad Jr., you're going to move Horwitz to second, obviously. The Fenway game looks good here. So Marcus Semien under 5K on DK is the guy I have the most. Michael Massey for Kansas City, only 4K on DraftKings, looks good. You can punt it with Brandon Drury or Kevin Newman if you want. Leo Jimenez too, assuming he's in the Toronto lineup. Or Lennon Sosa, I think he's leading off of the White Sox if we're playing against Nestor Cortez, which isn't the worst idea on the slate, with Cortez being popular. Gleyber Torres looks like he might be chalky. Ditto for Oswaldo Cabrera in Yankee stacks. I think they're perfectly fine. And Cronenworth, Chief mentioned him at first. You can also play him at second.
Okay. Chief, your thoughts at second.
I will throw in addition to that, Bryce Terang today facing off against Stone. like I said, I don't trust Stone. He's proven to me that he's going to get hit a little bit. And Milwaukee's been playing fairly well down the stretch of the season, even without one of their top hitters in Christian Yelich. So I am perfectly fine throwing him in there leading off.
Third base.
All right, third base. We're getting interesting here, Roth, because one of the top third basemen on the slate to me is Rafael Devers. He's getting tons of ownership. I think he's worth every penny and every bit of that ownership tonight at 5,900, which is one of the main reasons, Roth, why I'm playing two pitchers in the 7K range. I felt like it was worth it to get Devers. And I think, with the upside he possesses, it's possible he could outscore both. He could be one of the highest scoring bats on the slate. So that's another reason why I ended up with 7K guys. We've got Josh Smith here at third. If you want to play him there, you can also get him in the outfield. So I like him quite a bit. We mentioned Oswaldo Cabrera also facing off against Cannon, another one of these cheap bats that you can get to. I think Manny Machado is like the sneaky bet today, Ross, because I do think Devers is going to get a whole lot of ownership, but I think Manny at 5,100 is let's call him the sneaky third baseman right under. So I like him quite a bit. If you feel like Lugo is going to have a meltdown, like I'm okay with Jose Miranda. I know he's been, a guy that typically doesn't get incredibly touched up, but I still, once again, I'm a big believer in this Minnesota offense, and they've just proven me right time and time again. And then last but not least, you've also got Josh Jung at third base. If you want to get him, I think that would be the reason for me to fade Devers, is if I'm just kind of piling on Texas. And I say, okay, I'll pull Devers out of this one, get Josh Jung in your Texas stat.
Gotcha. Okay. Taylor, your thoughts at third?
Yeah, I think I'm going to play Young over Smith at third. You can move Smith to the outfield, like Chief said. Eugenio Suarez is one on my radar against Gomber for Arizona. Royce Lewis homering every day, once again last night. So if you're going to stack the Twins against Lugo, you should probably get Royce Lewis in there. A few guys we mentioned at second, Cabrera, Drury, and Sosa, you can also play at third. So decent flexibility there. And I like the Machado call too as either a one-off or in a Padres stack.
Okay. How about shortstop?
Shortstop. So a lot of good stuff here. Bobby Witt. I mentioned the Royals a few times. He's obviously one of the top hitters on the slate, even against what may be a good pitcher. The chalk looks like it'll be maybe David Hamilton or Corey Seager in the Boston game. No qualms with either of them. I didn't mention Hamilton at second, but you can play him there too. The Dodgers against Colin Ray look good. Mookie Betts, shortstop only on DK for now. I assume that'll change, but for now it is what it is. I have the most of Zach and Neto for the Angels just because I'm getting a ton of them. Slots pretty easily into that stack. And Anthony Volpe, I suppose, if you're stacking the Yankees, is worth a look too.
Okay. Chief, your thoughts are short.
I agree with all those, and I will throw in Ha-Seong Kim at the bottom of the Padres order, and then Perdomo from Arizona. Because of all the injuries, he's leading off today at 2,800 versus Gomber.
Okay. Then take me to the outfield.
Yeah, outfield, man, I'm a big Juan Soto guy. So, whenever he gets a chance against, someone like Colin Ray, I'm interested. Once again, I do like Colin Ray a ton tonight. So let me just say, I'm saying from a tournament perspective, but I still think Juan Soto. I'm sorry. I do like Juan Soto. He's facing Cannon, not Ray. Just got confused there. But Juan Soto facing Cannon, definitely think this is a great spot for him to just churn out fantasy points left and right, left and right. I'm perfectly fine with Profar in the outfield also. As another semi-spin up against Ortiz, I do think the Padres can score some runs here. Now, whether they do or not, man, I'm not sure, but I think it's a good spot for them. Obviously, the Boston guys, Abreu. My favorite would be Yoshida. If I could only choose one, really like him. He's a guy that's solid, fairly low strikeout rate, continually getting on base, driving runs home, and he'll have a chance. He's got the ultimate RBI master behind him in Rafael Devers. So if he gets on and he's still on base and Devers comes behind, expecting him to come home to the plate. If I were you in the prop world, I might actually put a small little bit down on Yoshida to score a run tonight. You can probably get that at plus money. I haven't looked at it, but you probably can. I'm okay with George Springer leading off. And then last but not least, these outfielders for Texas here, like Adolis Garcia is just too cheap. Wyatt Langford, even though he's in the 7th hole, all these guys are around 4K. I think you need to get exposure to all of them. Really, really, really like this spot for them tonight.
Okay, very good. Guys, the people want some home run calls, so be thinking of that. In the meantime, worth noting is also Tourney Tuesday in the live stream chat channel on our Discord. If you jump in there, you can enter our Tourney Tuesday contest. Winner gets a week of free premium, but if you've got the RG avatar, then you get 2 weeks. The only rule is someone on your team has to have 2 first names. Is Jackson Merrill? Is that the guy's name? Jackson Merrill, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that counts. I feel like that. I think we'd give it to you. Yeah, that's it. Make sure you jump on in there and hit us with the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. It is free content, as some of you have noted, and all that we ask is to hit that like and subscribe button. With that, Taylor, why don't you give me a few home run calls?
Sure thing. I mentioned Royce Lewis hitting a homer every day. Today is the day, so I'll take him. I will take Brent Rooker against Paul Blackburn, and then I'll go Dalton Varsho for the Blue Jays.
Chief, you got a few names for me?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go a little chalky here. Man, I hope these guys show up for us. So I'm going Seager and Devers in the same game there. I really think it's a good spot for them. Off the beaten path here, though, I'm going Willie Adames from Milwaukee against Gavin Stone. His stuff looks really good today. And then also off the beaten path, if you will, I'm going to go Spencer Horwitz against Fulton. Now, look, his power numbers aren't like as high as everyone else's, but I think Fulton may hang one over the plate for me today. Has a 200 ISO over the past 30 days and a 197 on the season. So I think Horwitz has an outside shot here to send one over the fence.
Okay, very good. Guys, make sure you're signing up for RG Premium. You can get ahead of the competition. We've got an option for whatever level you're looking for. 6-month combo subscription comes at an exclusive price of $469.99. That will save you $250 as opposed to buying month by month by month. Make sure you are making that happen with Combo Premium. And if you're not a big fan of commitment, you get a month of RG Combo Premium for $120. Or if you really just want a test run, 3-day pass is $19.99. That is the best deal in the biz. Make sure you check it out. We are going to open things up for some questions. We have 20 minutes. 20 minutes of questions. So make them some good ones. They can be about food. They can be about DFS. That's essentially it. Chief, did you see the DraftKings note? They were planning on charging a surcharge on sports bets. Did you see this? Did you hear this drama, Chief? Or Taylor?
Oh, yeah, of course I did. I heard it.
So they just went back on it. They said, never mind.
Yeah, that was the right call.
Yeah.
That was the right call.
Taylor, any thoughts on that one?
I'm a little surprised they actually did it, but I suppose good on them for doing the right thing.
It's pretty brutal.
Decision to begin with.
The thing is, from a PR standpoint, whoever's over there, public relations, like, hear me out. I don't want anybody to lose their job because people have families. But, like, they need to be on some type of corrective action because they got rid of Rainmakers, and then not long after that, they rolled out that garbage. And I said, is DraftKings trying to, like, tank their stock prices? Like, what are they doing? This is insane.
Yeah, that was a rough week for them. But, and I guess Matt pointing out that FanDuel announced in their earnings call that they were not going to do it, that they were not going to, increase it. And then DraftKings was kind of at that point like, oh, if you want to hold any sort of market share, you should probably back off on that. Okay, just a little industry update here. In the meantime, let's get some QQs. Chief, I will start with Yaz's Army. He says, I've got a few Angel stacks in my 20 max and noticed they have less than a 2% opto in the stacks tool. I'm sticking with them. Is that crazy or is that viable, Chief?
That sounds fantastic. Our good friend Taylor Smith has informed us that we need to be playing the Angels, and that's definitely going to be a tournament option because I think more people are going to play Gaussman than the Angels. I'm perfectly fine with the Angels.
Cool. I approve of that. Taylor, I'm coming to you. Which punt do you prefer on FanDuel here? Beck, Black, or Will Wagner?
I think I would take Wagner, assuming he's in the lineup. which we just got, and he is.
Okay. JMVP says, Stevie mentioned Gomber last night. Taylor, is it too crazy to play him in a FanDuel single entry?
On FanDuel, it's a little on the crazy side. But if it gets you all the bats you want, it is a bit of a watered-down lineup for Arizona. So I'm on the record with Arizona, but if you want to do it, totally fine.
Okay.
Well, you can
Amateur
play a
hours
new
is-
guy on FanDuel too, though. He's super cheap. I think he's 6,100. Like if you absolutely just want, yeah.
Amateur hour says, Chief, DKGPP straight up Cabrera versus Sogard, and your favorite Texas outfielder out of Adalis, Wyatt, and Smith.
I'm going to Dallas because he's just got so much home run upside.
And then the first part of that question was straight up Cabrera versus Sogard.
Cabrera.
Okay. We'll go to Greatness's question. Chief, right back to you. FanDuel GPP, would you go in an Angels Red Sox or Mets Blue Jays stack in a single entry contest? So if you're choosing between Angels Red Sox.
I mean, yeah.
Strong.
Mets and Blue Jays are you're cruising for a letdown with those two teams. My gosh.
Okay. Dean pointing out no Kirk in for Toronto. So we got the Toronto lineup, no Kirk. That certainly seems noteworthy. Thank you, Dean. Bill T says, Taylor, Omaha Steaks or Purdue chicken wings? There's only one right answer here. No pressure.
I don't think I've ever had either. So whatever you guys say. Wings. I'm assuming you mean steaks is the right answer, but
I think steaks are the right answer because Purdue chicken wings are just like, they're not good chicken wings, right? They're just like normal mass produced. Whereas Omaha Steaks, I think you can get good steaks. So I think the answer is Omaha Steaks. Chief, do you have a separate lean here?
Well, I mean, if they're letting me season my own on both, which if I'm just getting the raw meat shipped to me, then the answer is both.
Yeah. Well, that's safe.
At the house.
That's one way to do it.
If I had to choose one, I think I'd take Omaha Steaks. If I only had to choose one, yeah.
I'm with you on that choice. Hey, I'm jumping into the YouTube. Make sure you hit us with those thumbs up here. And I'm scrolling up just a little bit to see what we got. Mr. Gerg says, what was DK Sportsbook going to do? They were going to charge a surcharge in certain states so that every time you win a bet, they just like took an extra 3%. You're just like, oh, congratulations. We're going to take an extra 3 or 4%. But now they're not going to. DK Single Entry, Devin says, Taylor, with the poor pitching on the slate and low ownership, any Lugo love?
I guess you can. It's just not a great spot. He's not a great strikeout pitcher. So if you feel safe enough with it, I guess it's okay. But personally, I'm just going cheaper.
Okay. Andrew Martinez is kind of the flip side of this one. Chief, if you're playing the Twins, can you attack Lugo from both sides of the plate?
If you're going to stack them, I say go ahead and do it because, if he's going to get beat up, I think he's going to get beat up. Now, I would lean with the lefties just because that's where he's been a lot more susceptible, like over the past month. But, I mean, he's still on that 16% K rate. Still not giving up a whole bunch of walks, still not giving up a whole bunch of power, but he's just not getting the upside. So hopefully that helps.
Okay. Chief Eric says Rocky stack for all the money. If not, who is your favorite stack to win all the monies?
Well, my favorite stack is probably Texas, straight up. Then Boston. I don't think I roll with Colorado for all the money, but I understand the logic because Erod's just coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor, I've got a question for you. Any interest in Toronto bats? I feel like Chief poo-pooed them like 5 minutes ago, but maybe you feel differently.
They're not a great lineup, but I do like them a lot relative to the slate because they're cheap and they kind of help you get what you want other than Vlad. But so, yeah, I like Toronto a decent amount.
Okay.
And Roth, let me clear that up. The question was Blue Jays and Mets stacked together, which on this slate feels very yucky. Like you're asking to be let down.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Taylor, 3 favorite pitchers for strikeouts on FanDuel. Thank you.
One has to be King, of course. Beyond that, I guess Nestor Cortez by default. And beyond that, yikes. I guess I would take a shot on Zebi.
No, I approve. Okay. We'll go to Terps32 back in the Discord. He says, Chief, it's a 3v3 for FanDuel Cash. Grichuk, Simeon, Rogers, or Rogers, Bell, Gurriel, which makes the question, Grichuk, Simeon, or Bell, Gurriel?
Yeah, first one.
Okay. Very good.
I don't think
your favorite.
Is Gurriel playing today? I don't think.
Yeah, he's in.
Oh, he is. Okay, never mind. Yeah, but I would still go the first one. Yeah.
Okay, great. Chief, your favorite pitcher in a FanDuel GPP? You just rolling with the chalk and playing king, or are you doing something different?
Oh, GPP. Listen, guys, it's Colin Ray. In a GPP, like he's got, it's risky, but if anybody's gonna like do something crazy today, like it's Colin Ray.
Okay. Alex says, "Hey, did Chief have any props for us? I missed them. I don't know. Did you have any props to give the people, or no? You're ill. You're battling through it."
Like I said, I did mention I think Cronenworth over 1.5 total bases. I like that one. If you can get Josh Smith from Texas over 1.5 hits, runs, RBI, so you should be able to get him and Adolis Garcia at more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I like those. I think some of these guys are on the slate. Maybe the game start. Yeah, that's the 6 o'clock stuff, so I won't even mention that. Kyle Harrison at 4.5 strikeouts. I like more than that projection. And then we've got Erod's at 5.5 strikeouts. I know it's Colorado. I don't think he's right, so I took less than 5.5 strikeouts on him today.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work. Good stuff. Let's go to Taylor with a question from M. Rios 0026. He says, is it crazy to do a Pitt Colorado build, Taylor? Is that crazy?
Yeah, I think that's a little off the map. It's definitely off the map. I think Colorado is more viable than Pittsburgh. Like, I get the King is really popular, but I think you can get different without stacking Pirates today.
Okay. We'll go with a FanDuel cash question for you, Taylor. It's a 3v3. Blackburn, Seager, Soto, or King, Perdomo, Gurriel?
The first one sounds better. The second one makes more sense if you have a full Arizona stack with it.
Okay. We'll go to Beaner's question. Chief, is a Yankee stack crazy after yesterday's letdown?
No, not at all. Still going to be fairly chalky, but I don't mind the Yankees.
Yeah. Where do we go here? Jay says, what's the report on Matthews? FanDuel single entry. Can we play him over Gomber?
I think you're definitely playing him over Gomber if you're brave enough to punt FanDuel single entry.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Chief D-Dot says FanDuel single entry Cortez or Blackburn. Who do you prefer?
Repeat that one for me, Roth. Sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, it was Cortez versus Blackburn, FanDuel single entry.
I think I'm going Blackburn.
Taylor Blink 182 says, I don't like that King is pitching against the same team in back-to-back starts. My next thought was Gausman, but he just always sucks whenever I use him. I have the salary for either. What is the correct move? Is that something that you considered or were worried about with King, Taylor, or you don't care?
I don't care on this slate just because there's really nothing else, and he's kind of easily the SP1. So Gausman is fine. Like, I don't love him necessarily, but I get why you play him. So if you are nervous about King, I do think Gausman is perfectly fine as an alternative.
Okay. Jumping back into the YouTube. Let's see. I have no idea what that means. We'll keep going. Does Bobby Witt homer? Chief, is Bobby Witt going to homer?
I'm going to go with no, but that also doesn't mean he doesn't have a good night.
Yeah. Okay. Any love for Cannon against the Yankees in a GPP, Chief?
No.
Taylor Richard says, I'm going with a Riley Ozuna combo with a Rocky stack. Jordan Beck is back at 2K. Is that leverage over the chalky stacks?
It's leverage if Erod is going to be popular. I don't know if he will be, but I don't mind that. Atlanta's a team you can stack every day, and I do think Colorado's a little interesting.
Okay. Fred says, Chief, DK Cash, last piece. So he needs an SP2 for DK Cash. It sounds like Ray or Zebby. I don't know if either of those are cash plays, but maybe they are.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing cash, if you don't have Blackburn, I do that. That would be my lean, but I'm not sure who else he's playing. So
let's say he's only got the money for one and he has to pick one. Who do you prefer? I guess Ray is kind of your.
Ray's where I plant my flag tonight, but it's not a cash game picture at all. Like, this could easily go south real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Single entry Taylor, Blackburn Morton, or Gaussman Morton?
I think I would lean Blackburn Morton, but no qualms with either.
All right. FanDuel Taylor, your favorite lefty in an Arizona stack. By the way, we've got about 6 minutes here until we get to lock. Plenty of time. Your favorite lefty in an Arizona stack, Taylor?
Probably Jake McCarthy, just because Corbin Carroll is more expensive.
Okay. We'll go to Cleveland Picker. Who do you guys have as the top fantasy scorer on the slate tonight? He says he's rolling with the Polar Bear with BMP. Chief, who do you have here as the top fantasy scorer on the slate?
Oh, man, it's the reason I'm playing these pitchers.
Devers, baby.
Devers. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. That will be my call as well for what it's worth. Taylor, you want to pick a random guy to be the highest scorer tonight?
Is Ohtani a random guy? Because I'll take Ohtani.
It counts. I feel like I should have chosen that. That does seem like a wise choice. Let's see. Chief Flying Armbar says Wagner or Black as a cheap punt on FanDuel.
Wagner.
Okay. Taylor, back to you here. Andrew Martinez says King and Blackburn with Blue Jays or Blackburn Harrison with Twins.
First one.
All right. Let's see if we got anything popping in the Discord here. Falcons fan with a very important question. Your favorite salad dressing? Your favorite salad dress? This is definitely, Taylor, you like to eat green things. What is your favorite salad dressing?
That's kind of tough. Honey mustard, I think, is kind of underrated as a salad dressing, but can't go wrong with a nice vinaigrette as well.
Yeah, I think I'm not really a salad guy, but I tend to go vinaigrette. Chief, you got a lean here? You got a strong take?
I do like honey mustard. So it's got to be the right brand though for me. And I like honey mustard on like sandwiches. So I'm a honey mustard aficionado.
Okay.
I think my favorite two dressings. I feel like I like a nice Catalina. Catalina is like it's really good. And then secondly, it would probably be a creamy French. So they're close, but they're different enough to where you can taste the difference. Yeah.
You're putting me on something because I have never heard of a Catalina. I'm not a salad guy, as I said, but I'll give it a go next time.
Yeah.
Good question, Falcons fan. Thank you for introducing some food into the equation. Jay Brunton says, is Zebby getting chunnel cake tonight? I think Zebby's crushing. Is that the dude who it's his first start? That's him, right?
Yeah.
Is he getting chunnel caked, Chief?
I mean, his 888 number suggests he's not going to get beat up. But this is one of the reasons why I'm leaning into Colin Ray a little bit. There are actually more strikeouts in this Dodgers lineup than the Kansas City lineup on paper. Yeah. So this should be a tough outing for him to start, and that's why I'm kind of staying away.
Okay. FanDuel GPP, Taylor Seager or Devers? Who's your boy?
I would take Seager, I think, by a hair, but, Chief would probably say Devers, and I don't disagree.
Okay. We're right back to it.
I have both, so don't worry.
Yeah, we approve of that. FanDuel single entry, Seager or Vlad this time, Taylor? Seager or Vlad in FanDuel single entry?
I do love Vlad, but I would still take Seager head-to-head.
Okay. DKGPP Chief, how do you feel about a Giants mini stack with Fitzgerald, Chapman, and Ramos?
I don't feel great about it, even though Charlie Morton's been terrible.
Okay. Jay says, FanDuel stack your favorite single entry stack on FanDuel, Chief.
My favorite single entry stack?
Yes.
Oh, Texas Rangers. I love Texas today. I mean, that's what you're going to hear if you ask me about my favorites.
Okay. Flying Armbar says, let's see, 2,100 on FanDuel as a punt, Wagner or Black. I feel like maybe we answered this question in a different format. Taylor, it was Wagner for you, right?
Yeah, it was Wagner for me.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Do you like Sheets lefty against Cortez on FanDuel, Taylor?
Not really.
Fair enough. Chief, does Austin Wells go yak tonight?
I'm going to say no.
Nope. Okay. We got a hard
no
no
there.
He
doesn't have a good night.
Okay. We'll go to Chris Brown. He says FanDuel cash, pitch and Zebby. Freeman, Devers, or Vlad. Devers is your boy, Chief, so I assume that's your answer. Freeman, Devers, or Vlad.
Correct. Devers.
Taylor, making you work in DK cash, your favorite outfielder, $4,600 or cheaper.
That was DK Cash outfield?
Yep, 4,600 or cheaper. DK cash in the outfield.
Let's say, I don't think Springer's bad. Yeah, Springer. Yeah, I do like Sorry, Springer go.
Yeah. Okay. On DK, Taylor, will the Dodgers be low owned? Question from Mike in the YouTube.
I don't think they're going to be that popular. So, like the Yankees, the Rangers, Red Sox, going to be more popular than them, I think.
All right, less than 2 minutes until lock. A couple more questions coming into the RG Discord. Razzle Dazzle says, Chief, DK cash 4K or less in the outfield.
I'm on it. Give me a second.
Yep.
Give me Churio from Milwaukee. I'm telling you, I do like Milwaukee against Stone.
Okay. Chief, right back to you here. FanDuel single entry, Ozuna or Bobby Witt?
Bobby Witt.
Taylor, pick two. Devers, Seager, Lewis. Devers, Seager, Lewis.
Devers, Seager.
Okay, great. Peter says Roth is crushing 2024. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we've got. Scrolling down, less than a minute until lock. Would it be different to pay up for Judge and Soto in a lineup? Taylor, is that different?
So.
No,
probably not.
Everybody's
it's good
trying to do it. Yeah, it's not that there's anything wrong with it. Oh, someone says next list for Dean for tomorrow, salad dressing list. But Dean does not like salad dressing, so they would all be at the bottom. I don't know. I don't really eat salad, and when I do, I'm like, I don't want the salad dressing. I'll just eat it just dry. Hey, Roth, question for Chief and Taylor. Do either of them have any superstitions? What a great question. Do you have any superstitions you adhere to before every slate? I think the answer is no, but I'm intrigued. Chief?
No, but I do have some long-term things that I employ, like not playing Coors, just avoiding Brady Singer altogether. Like those couple things, I look at the slate and I go, nope, don't trick yourself. That's also how I feel about Toronto and the Mets, but I have to play them from time to time.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Taylor, you have any superstitions or any like weird quirks as you're building a lineup or watching sports?
Nothing pre-lock, but if I notice that I'm in first place or something fairly late in a slate, I will not watch whatever game is on, whatever the last game is.
You gotta go to sleep, Taylor.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I can on the West Coast. Like it's pretty early usually, so I can't just go to sleep at 8. So
Rob,
yeah, usually I'm just not watching that game.
I will co-sign this, Rob. If I ever open my phone like at 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern, and I say, holy moly, right? I turn that phone down, I go watch a movie. I need to get my mind off of it. Yeah. I don't want to know what's going on because it keeps the stress level down. Because if you keep watching it going, You're gonna drive yourself
Yeah.
crazy.
Going nuts. Like, yeah, going up and down and up and down. Yeah. Naj the Great says, I have to tune in because it will drive me insane. Like, I'm with you.
I think it drives me more insane watching it and then tilting it live. So yeah.
So funny story. I've only had one live sweat where I followed it, and it was because I'd been in first place practically all night Raw, and Giannis Antetokounmpo was playing the Orlando Magic, bringing up the rear on a random Saturday night slate. And so I'm sitting here like, please, just don't go stupid.
Don't go crazy. Yeah.
And he didn't, and I won. And that's the only time. Other than that, I've fallen asleep and woken up, and I'm like, I won. Great.
Yeah, that seems to be the way to do it. A lot of people in the chat kind of agreeing on that. Boss Pro says live sweats are torture. Yeah, I could understand that. Okay, I think we're going to bounce on out of here. Good stuff, as always. So for Chief, for Taylor, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crunched.